This is home of the 18-time world champion Boston Celtics. WBZ-FM and HD Boston 98.5. The Sports Hub. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics took last night off, but they'll be back in action tonight with only 3 games left in the regular season and a magic number of 1 to clinch the 2 seed in the upcoming Eastern Conference playoffs. They'll visit the Knicks tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Neemias Queta, and Sam Hauser are all listed as questionable. Bruins are off until Saturday when they play Tampa Bay at TD Garden, but yesterday they finally made the big move. After 6 games in the American Hockey League, the Bruins have signed top draft pick James Higgins to a 3-year entry-level contract. Red Sox won their first series of the season yesterday by beating Milwaukee for the second time in 24 hours, 5-0 at Fenway Park. Trevor Story drove in 2 more runs to lead the offense. And then Sonny Gray followed up a solid outing from Garrett Crochet by allowing only 3 hits in 6 1/3 shutout innings for the win.
I watched Beast last night, and then it was game was over, and it was like, okay, it's my turn to just go out there and just keep it going.
The team will have tonight off. They will play in St. Louis tomorrow evening. Rob Gronkowski, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the 3 finalists for this year's election into the Patriots Hall of Fame. And round 1 of the Masters begins at 7:40 this morning at Augusta National. Defending champion Rory McIlroy has a tee time of 10:31. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Premier Basement Waterproofing. Buying a home or finishing your basement this spring? Do what Beetle did. Get it waterproofed first and take advantage of 0% financing. Call 844-LIVE-DRY or visit premierbasement.net. It's game over for water. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Drake May. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Nick then texted and admitted that he took them. Who took them?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. A big show on the way today. Tom Karen, Ryan Johnston, John Carales. We have more on the Rousini and Vrabel stuff. A lot of stuff about that coming out yesterday. It's very interesting. A little bit of a scandal. Both sides are denying it, but nonetheless, given our own interactions with Diana Rousini, it is interesting to us. Certainly, at least. So, that is very good. Scandals.
I like that part of it. I like our minor involvement with her last summer and how it's just how things are playing out.
Controversy.
Well, the thing is that if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be nearly as interested in it. Because Mike Vrabel seems like a good guy, and if he can do what he wants, it doesn't really affect me. It doesn't affect the team. I mean, you can extrapolate and make all these scenarios where it affects the team, but I mean, I don't really think it does. It affects Diana Rossini's career a lot, but I don't care about Diana Rossini unless Diana Rossini sends us that box of pastries with the note, passive aggressively saying that as a woman in the industry, she has to take care of her guys.
Right.
which I took as a shot at us as being, I guess, sexist.
Yeah, misogynistic or something. Yeah.
Right, which was, we feel unfair. We played you the audio yesterday, and that was the deal. So we will get into all of that. A cold morning. We had snow 2 days ago, and now we have temperatures in the 20s.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. 28 degrees. That was fun. I like that.
60 tomorrow, 80 next Wednesday. It's all going to change real quick.
Well, it better not get too hot because I'm going to the Bahamas.
I understand.
I can't have it hot here.
I gotcha.
Are you going to Atlantis?
No, I'm going to.
Why not?
I'm going to the better one.
Oh, the
Baha Mar.
I was call it Bryn Mawr, but that's a school.
Yes, that's correct. That's Pennsylvania.
I've seen Baha Mar across the K. I've seen it there in the distance. I said, "Ooh, that does look nice."
Yeah, because I've been to Atlantis the last 2 years, so I decided to change it up.
There you go.
Floss a little bit. Now it doesn't have dolphins there, so if I want dolphins, I'm going to have to make a day trip to Atlantis.
What about the sea lions?
No, sea lions. I think sea lions the only place. There's only like 2 places on the planet that have sea lions that you can interact with, and Atlantis is one of them.
Yeah, they're fun. They call them water dogs. They kind of act like dogs.
Have you been with them?
I've been. Yeah, my kids did. I was like right there with them. I didn't sit down and like touch them. They stink. They smell.
At Atlantis?
Yeah.
Oh, so they must have been really little because they let you go without paying?
No. I just stood there and took pictures.
Oh, because when I went, they had a guy. They wouldn't let you take pictures. They had a guy who took pictures, and then you actually interacted with the sea lion. Like they let you touch it and play with it and stuff. You get in the water with it and like play around with the sea lion. I have a picture. It went to go bite my son, so I have a picture on the wall of my house of the sea lion going to bite, and my son went, "Ee!"
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is the Katie and Calvin did that. I couldn't remember, but I actually have the video of them like in the water and like messing with them. Yeah.
But where are you?
That's at Atlantis.
Why is the building so far in the distance?
It's a backdrop in like the sea lion like containment area.
Oh, they changed things. Interesting. Yeah, so they did it. Yeah, they put on the wetsuits and they got in there.
Yeah.
They wised up and they don't let you take photos anymore. So you'll buy them.
We've got
money-making venture.
I can't remember if I took the dolphin photo. That was when they were real little. So yeah, they've been there twice.
Yeah, did you do the one where you can just swim with them?
Nope. I don't have that kind of money.
Well, that is one of the great experiences you can have. It really is. They give you this propulsion machine, like it's a motor that you hang on to and you throttle it and you can move through the water, underwater, and they just let you loose with 2 of the dolphins. And you can like do whatever you want. And you just like swim around with them for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's a beautiful experience. It's lovely.
Did you feel changed by the experience, Fred?
Yes. I finally shaved my nuts. I finally said, this is what you're talking about. Dan, hello, Dan.
Right on.
Hi, guys. I can't move past something about the inside of my fingers interlocking. Like, I can hug a bro, we can hit the pool, in our bathing suits. It's when the fingers interlock. I can't get past it. Am I the only one? I can't get past that. Like, girls will do that with each other. Who knows? They hold hands.
Well, they caress each other. I mean,
interlock.
You bring up a couple things. Is you're talking about when Vrabel and Rousini are interlocking their fingers in a picture, which is a very intimate way of greeting or hanging out together. I agree with you. But yes, you are correct. I mean, women will... I know women that will sit like on a couch and caress each other. They're not lesbians and they're not like hooking up. They'll caress each other's backs and like arms. Like they'll just sit there caressing each other. In fact, that was a big thing in my marriage is the lack of human touch. that I wasn't holding her enough and touching her.
I thought that you were critical of, that you wanted to be touched.
Oh, I
more.
love being touched. I love it. I love to be caressed and touched. In fact, if my kids want to get me pissed off, what they'll do is they'll like lightly touch me, like lightly caress my arm, and then they know that will drive me insane. They like if I'm in an airplane with my son, he'll start like lightly caressing my forearm. And like he knows that it will like drive me insane.
It's like an armrest situation, that kind of thing, where he'll just put his hand on top of yours.
No, it's like that
arm.
light touch, like back and forth, and then he'll just sit there looking at me like trying to drive me crazy. But he's 17, so that's a lot of fun right now. Go ahead.
So I talked to my wife last night about this thing, and I said, "Did you see or hear about any of the Vrabel stuff?" I was like, "Oh yeah, so I saw a picture," and I tried to explain to her because she just glanced at it once and she's not obsessed with it because she's healthy and has
what a boring person. You're not obsessed with what Mike Vrabel's doing,
and she has things to do. But I tried to explain it to her. I said, "Look, it's the interlocking fingers thing." And she was most impressed that A, we picked up on the importance of that, and B, one of our listeners kind of alerted us to it via email yesterday. And we all immediately agreed with it and immediately co-signed on it. But that was the one thing she was in lockstep with. You know, forget about all the other stuff. You know, what grown people do is their business, and is it really any of ours? But if you're going to make it your business for any like section of this, the interlocking finger hand holding, that's the one you can't explain away. That's the one that's way more important than it looks like on the surface.
Okay, yeah, but I know your wife didn't say this, but if it's nobody's business, well, no, it is. It's the head coach of a National Football League team and a national reporter, both having an extramarital affair together, possibly. That's a big deal.
I was talking about if we were in France. You know, it's none of our business, if, you know, in the continental sense.
I'll tell you, if Vrabel, if there was like just, I swear to God, if Vrabel was just photographed at a resort with, you know, some woman, I would have suggested in the pre-show meeting yesterday not to talk about it. I swear to God. Because I didn't know about it until the pre-show meeting, because it didn't break until like late the night before, or relatively late the night before. I hadn't looked at Slack. It was the last thing in Slack, so it's not me being lazy. Like, I just didn't see it. And so when it got brought up and I went, oh, it's Diana Rousini. Oh, that's interesting for a lot of reasons. Now, Barrett Media, guys, don't get jealous. They picked up what I said about it.
What?
Oh.
They picked up what I said.
Oh.
But the thing they picked up in the angle that they liked is I don't even allege an affair. Is during what they talked about. I don't allege an affair. What they say is that I said, if you are going to hold yourself up as she has to us, as this bastion of feminine credibility and female reporting credibility, that, you know, how dare you make fun of me? I am a woman. Hear me roar.
It's hard enough in this business without getting slings and arrows from you fellows.
Yeah, maybe don't hang out with a coach in a hot tub in bikinis, hugging and holding hands and things like that. The optics of that aren't great for the argument that you continually make. That, like, you have to be aware of that. And you know, there has to be. Again, if they weren't married, who cares? Like, I even wouldn't care then, because, I mean, people fall in love, it happens, and, you know, proximity leads to those kinds of feelings, and if you happen to be around someone and you have this like magical connection, why should you have to deny yourselves happiness? Doesn't. You know, I think it's fine. I don't even think we talked that much about the lady that ended up with John Farrell.
Right.
Like
we kind of left that one alone.
Yeah, because it's like, who cares? Like, I never thought that was like,
Yeah.
I mean, we know a million stories, not a million, but
enough.
There are enough stories of reporters getting with managers or players that are none of my business. I don't care.
But once you start throwing stones, that's it. It's
well, the Rousini thing is they're both married.
Yeah.
They're both, and the thing is that, to us, she got mad at us for making fun of her.
Yeah.
And she made it about her being a woman. And then so you're like, okay, you're pretty thin-skinned. But then when you do this, you're like, it doesn't matter if you had an affair or not. This is pretty unseen. This isn't professional. Not Hunter Thompson. I kept thinking about that as like, like that era of like Tom Wolfe and Hunter Thompson, like, getting on the, who was running against Nixon that he was covering in Fear and Loathing on the campaign trail. Whoever the Democratic candidate was.
Yeah.
But he would be like on the plane, McGovern, but he would be on like the plane with him, drinking and like getting hammered, and like he made himself part of the story. So I kind of thought of that, but it's like, this isn't like new journalism. This is a lady, that's an insider reporting.
Well, it's gonzo in its own way.
This is interesting because I think I know where this person's going. Randy, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
So you guys are talking about this situation, and like yesterday on Twitter, all the Eagles fans and podcasters and stuff started going on like this was some sort of conspiracy against them. Like somehow Rousini is driving trade talks and driving A.J. Brown's price down, and it's just the weirdest take to me. And I even saw a podcaster like have Adam Schefter on and ask him, and Adam Schefter was like kind of blown away by the question. Like he didn't even, like it just didn't even make sense to him. And I was wondering what you guys' take was on that, because like they seem to have it backwards. Like she doesn't drive the news cycle. She doesn't drive Howie Roseman's decisions.
No.
That's how they're acting. It's so weird.
No, my opinion, and it's completely my opinion, is that they find each other attractive and they wanted to meet up and have a fling. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to the Philadelphia thing, I think the easiest explanation on that is when there's a big story like that, your immediate reaction and inclination is to localize it. How does this somehow involve me? What does this have anything to do with us? But
because you're taking something kind of funny and turning it into some bitch fest about your football team.
Right, yeah. It's like this whole victimhood thing that just doesn't even make sense.
Nah, I'm with you.
If anything, she gets better information, I would think. Like,
that would be
more tapped into the source.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about with the, like, if you're gonna play the I'm a female reporter, like I deserve. We weren't even making fun of her for that, but like if you're gonna go like you can't make fun of me, I'm a female reporter, and then you're using your feminine wiles to get information from a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on.
For the second time.
Yeah, I mean.
If there's any other reporter that could get caught, like, she's the last reporter that could get caught doing this, because this is the second time in her career she's had something like this come up.
And it's funny to me because in a sea of beautiful women covering sports, Diana Rousini is the one. I mean, she's a fine-looking woman, but I mean, in the sea, if I gave you a sea of females that cover the NFL or cover sports, I mean, there's a lot of very, very, very beautiful women. Now look at beauty, isn't it? It's what between the ears, you dummy.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go.
So
she looks like Lisa Ann from the neck up.
One of these Eagles sites talks about how Diana Rousini was at the center of the A.J. Brown reporting storm, talking about his dissatisfaction with the team and how he was being rumored to be, looked at by this team and that team. And Diana Rousini was the one, making a lot of these reports. So now people look at this and say, oh, was this all like a play, all of this so-called reporting in order to make it easier to get him onto the Patriots?
Okay, you want a real football take then? Is if the PR becomes strong enough with that, then the Eagles can't deal him to the Patriots. So there you go. There's your football angle. A realistic, real-world one, where in a world of PR, if it gets to be this huge noise in Philadelphia that doesn't go away, that Rousini has somehow, which I don't think is true, made it and devalued A.J. Brown, it's a horrible PR move then to trade him to the Patriots. So there you go. You might have cost yourself A.J. Brown if you want to extrapolate it that far down. Now, do I believe that? No. But, I mean, I guess keep it in the back of your mind if the Patriots, if A.J. Brown goes somewhere else, that okay, maybe that was what happened. Do you have ESPN Plus, Hardy?
Yeah.
The Masters will be on ESPN Plus.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
You knew that. 8:45.
Yeah, but I tend to watch the early coverage Thursday and Friday on the Masters app.
Apparently, Hardy's said this many times. They do
Masters website.
a fantastic job. You were raving about it last year.
Best application in sports.
Have you been watching the warm-ups?
No, I have not.
You haven't from the range. They haven't had that yet.
Yeah, I was in here early. It was getting together all of our stuff for today, and no, and I watched very very little the par 3 yesterday. That's kiddie stuff.
Okay.
Did you do they have a locker room cam?
First of all, clubhouse cam, and yes,
yeah, stupid.
Well, no,
shower cam.
No, I went. Yeah, okay, but still, it's not the locker room, even if it's the place where the showers and lockers are.
Patrick Reed hung like a rhino, which you wouldn't think.
Oh no, I would.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's got those lips.
You
know what lips equals? Hello. Good night, nurse. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi. We are Toucher and Hardy. And Hardy, what is going on? What happened last night?
It's really more yesterday afternoon as the Red Sox and Milwaukee Brewers were wrapping up their 3-game set. Sox had already grabbed that elusive, as we heard a couple days ago, elusive third win of the season, but still looking for their first series win of the season. Would they get it?
That'll skip off of Hamilton right to the shortstop, throw to first, not in time, and a run scores. Red Sox on to Ricochet, add another. It is 2-0.
How about that with the Red Sox getting up early, 2-0 there in the third inning. They wouldn't be done. They would score another in the third on this play.
Dropping down a bunt. Then Milwaukee baseball. The catcher throws offline, and a great play there just to make sure that didn't get by. But the Red Sox dropping down bunts here early.
Who says this team can't generate offense?
Boy, they like shots
high-powered
all over the ballpark yesterday.
Fan frenzy-inducing offense.
Wow.
Sack bunts. Let's do it.
Singles off infielders' gloves. Pop flies into the outfield. Yes.
Who says Durbin can't contribute? Again.
Ground ball right side. Hamilton going for the tag play and then on to first and in time.
Boston's challenging the out ball, first base.
Abreu coming home on this.
I think he's going to be safe here.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe.
That'll make it 5-0.
That's Jake Taylor-esque.
Look at the hustle out of the right-handed batter's box. Beat that play by a whisker. That's an RBI.
Hell yeah.
Can't take that guy out of the lineup.
Why are you guys making fun of them for manufacturing runs?
I think he hustled, yes.
I think it's good. And Fred, just to show you how magnanimous I can be, Sonny Gray, outstanding yesterday. Outstanding.
Well, you could tell that Sonny Gray's been the best pitcher for the Red Sox this season thus far.
Yeah. Even the skipper thinks so.
He was good. He competes, he prepares, he knows what he's doing out there. And like I said before the game, he's faced those guys a while. For a while there's some at-bats, Yelich, 16, 20 at-bats, so they know each other. But he was able to execute and gave us more than enough.
Yeah, he 6 1/3, 90 pitches.
That's
efficient.
And 3 strikeouts?
Yeah, that's how you get out of 90.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is the Sonny Gray experience, correct?
2 strikeouts, actually.
2 strike. Doesn't strike out a lot of guys.
Doesn't walk a lot of guys. So
Very
it's 2
efficient.
strikeouts, 2 walks.
Yeah.
So, pitches to contact and, generates a lot of ground balls, and there you go.
He was great. He was really, really good yesterday.
He's a professional pitcher, which is I was mocked, and not just me. He was mocked by all these shows and all these people, and I said, look, he's not a flame-throwing 22-year-old kid. No, he's a professional baseball pitcher. Like, he's good. He's not, good. He's not going to throw 10 perfect games, but he's not going to strike a lot of guys out. He's a professional pitcher.
No, but you did say when they signed him on, look, he's a rock-solid number 2. He really should be number 1, but, and, I would push back a little bit, and you're like, no.
I said he's better than Crochet. I said he's way better than Crochet.
Which, and now, okay, the chickens are coming home to roost. How did you feel about being left out there? I mean, 90 pitches. You should have gone out there again. But here's what Sonny Gray said about pitching into the 7th.
Yeah, I just said that I have another 0 in me if you need it. I didn't know where our bullpen really stood or where we were at. I just said I have another 0 if you need it. He said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yes." And so we just moved forward. Yeah, in the 7th, he made the decision. I faced the first 2, and then I came out and Greg came in and shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got the hold.
Yep. Second one of the season.
John, do you have time of game listed there in front of you somewhere?
I do.
I do.
What do you have? You have it quicker than I do.
I'm just curious. These getaway days. What are they playing? About 2 hours and 38 minutes.
It's not in the ESPN box score.
2:36 says Ryan.
Okay. Yeah. So the game was over by about 4 o'clock. Started at 1:30.
My son had a game yesterday. It was 95 minutes.
Wow.
That's
you
baseball.
Never see that at his level. No way.
It's 7 innings. But
so still,
yeah, the kid that pitched for them had complete game shutout. So yeah, they were out of there quick.
Good for you. Oh, were you there for that one? You were there for that one.
I was there for because if he would have been pulled, my son would have come in and pitched.
Okay.
So I was there, as was someone else looking to watch for my son to pitch, but he did not. But the kid was so good that pitched that my son. But the kid that pitched was great. So yeah, quick game.
4-8. Your mighty Boston Red Sox.
That's a big series victory. I mean, that's look. You're back on track. You can only win series. You can't go and start sweeping teams. You beat a very good team. You won a series against a very good team.
And now on the road, you're at St. Louis Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is certainly a winnable series. And in Minnesota right after that.
Yeah, St. Louis is I believe a game over 500. They just played the Nationals, who are even worse than they are. But St. Louis is bad, so you should win that series, certainly. I would be disappointed if I was a Red Sox fan and I didn't win that series.
Still waiting for the offense to come around a little bit.
Oh, you get to see Dusty May on Friday. You want to know Dusty May's ERA?
I looked it up. It's over 16, right?
It's 18.9.
Yeah. Dustin May, not good.
No, it's funny because
that won't be a 2.5-hour game.
No, we're gonna be a while.
And it's funny because writers were going Dusty May, good on them for signing him, and it was no, he's terrible.
That's a Heimblum special right there, Dustin May for the rotation.
Well, I mean the thing is,
let's buy a guy who's terrible, and maybe he'll be better with us.
They needed to fill out the rotation.
I know.
I don't think he's going to be in the rotation at the end of the year, but. Yeah, you face one good pitcher for the Cardinals, so enjoy that.
Yep.
That's a sweepable series.
Connolly early on Friday against Dustin May.
Right,
nice.
And so you have a distinct pitching advantage. If you would like to go to St. Louis, you can get in the game for $20. So have fun.
The problem is it'll cost you $1,400 to fly to St. Louis, and then you got to get yourself home.
There's direct flights.
Have you priced out flights lately?
I knew it was super expensive to fly to Detroit.
Yeah. Rob Manfred on with Dan Patrick yesterday talking about a few things. We'll get one of these out of the way, talking about ABS.
I think the reaction has been overwhelmingly positive. I thought that my expectation was that the players would really like it, the opportunity to correct a miss at a crucial point in the game.
Yeah, an opportunity to show up the ump. Absolutely. Of course, players are going to like that. But what really people want to know about is this labor deal. What did you have to say about that, Mr. Commissioner?
What is it that I need to know about Major League Baseball moving forward with the potential labor issues?
I think the most important thing for our fans to know is we're going to provide them a great 2026 season. And while they're watching that great 2026 season, we're going to be working hard to get a labor deal done.
Oh, boy, that's not good.
Okay, what's the holdup?
What's the big holdup? What could potentially be the big holdup?
Just not at a point in the process where I can really give you a good answer to that, Dan. It's just too early.
Man, you're shaking me off here. You're like Kershaw on the mound here. What's going on here?
There's so many holdups, Dan. I can't pick one.
Well, Manfred said that there's going to be a lockout, and he said that the reason there's going to be a lockout is because, according to him, it's good for negotiation. It's a lock. He said a lockout in the off season is 1,000 times more productive than a lockout during the season, and so his is that it's almost a ceremonial thing, to do the lockout. Now, look, it's going to be an intense labor negotiation, and I'm not saying they're going to play baseball in 2027, but the term lockout shouldn't freak anyone out because it's going to happen. It's just the way that business is done. So the lockout in December really doesn't mean anything. It's when it starts leaking into March, really, basically, is when it starts to mean something. All right, Hardy, that's not even, your monitor's not even on.
It's because I moved it in such a way that unplugged a little bit. I'll plug it back in when we go to break here.
If you want to do it now, I know it's bothering you.
Well, talk about baseball for a second.
Okay. So the lockout.
Think about baseball and swing all night.
So the lockout.
I scream, you scream, we all swing for Don't even try because you can't ignore. She's my cherry pie. Fred used to beat it to this video 24 hours a day. Yes, Jonathan, go ahead.
No, lockout. They're not going to play baseball. It has not happened yet that the silent majority has won out among the players. The players that make more money have beaten the ham and eggers into submission. Now, there's more of a reason this year than any other for those that don't make money to rise up and go, F you, we're doing this. I'm outvoting you. But it hasn't happened yet. Maybe this is finally the time. But the league has never gotten out of its own way when it comes to this. So this is the most serious challenge to the momentum that they've put up in a long time. And they got away with it in the early 90s because McGuire and Sosa brought them back, but that took 5 or 6 years. I don't know what they do here. This is not going to be good because the owners will never back down. The owners will never back down. The owners desperately want this. So the players, it's on the players to either bend or, put the sport out of business for a while.
Well, I mean, a lot of these teams can't afford empty buildings. Like a lot of these teams, their local TV deals suck. Mm-hmm. So they're dependent on revenue sharing and gate. So if they aren't getting gate, you don't underestimate how much. I mean, we've talked about this with Bert, which is one of the more interesting things he says, is that the NFL owners are playing they're playing a different game than the fan. It's not about winning the Super Bowl. It's about winning the Super Bowl, spending the least amount of money. Like, that's kind of the side piece. Like, if you win the Super Bowl, but you went nuts, they kind of like frown upon that. So, there is a financial aspect to this where it does hurt the owners too.
But at the same time, we've read over and over again that every owner except for the Dodgers and the Mets wants this to happen.
Well, the game needs it. Right. So that's the thing, is that, like, beyond what the owners want, this isn't – look, the owners are greedy and everything else, fine. But there is a reality that there is no competitive balance in baseball. The Dodgers are insane. They're insane this year. It's just unfair. And it's because, and I know that they've developed well too, but that's not why they're this good. They're this good because they're stocked with guys they pay a ton of money to. And the different discrepancies in payrolls are ridiculous. And you can't have a successful league. The next hurdle for the Major League Baseball to clear is having a league where everyone can be competitive like the other three major sports. That's the last hurdle to clear. And until they clear that, you can't dismiss 25 of your 30 teams.
Yeah.
So that's the bottom line.
Some promise of the guys at the lowest levels having the ability to reach the highest level. And right now in baseball, that doesn't exist. You can't reasonably convince a player who's making the minimum that he's going to end up with one of these deals.
It's interesting now because you see a lot of teams hurrying to sign players.
Yes.
They want to get all of these deals done because the theory is whatever the new rules are going to be, these contracts are going to be grandfathered in.
Well, you're seeing minor league players signed to long-term deals that have never played in the majors, including Milwaukee signed a kid that's not even playing well in the minors to a long-term deal.
Right. Pittsburgh, who never signs anyone, just signed their top prospect to 9 years and $140 million.
Yeah, and if you're a kid, you're like, I think that's a smart move because let's get this money as soon as possible and work our way into another deal.
Yep.
And, you invest money. If you have the money now and I can invest it and make it work for itself, then I'm in a pretty good place. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Hardy has got the Masters up. Masters on the range.
Off air, they're not on the air yet.
Masters on the range. If
Still got an hour before the tournament starts.
But
they're on the range. You tell me guys aren't warming up right now? Of course they are.
It's still dark there. It stays darker later there.
Oh, it's true. The camera might be on.
Well, that's right.
It's just dark.
Well, there's Central Time Zone.
Whatever you say.
That's a great line. I didn't even see it coming. That's a great line.
No, but it does in the South. It takes about another. I bet you it doesn't get. I bet you it's just getting light now.
They're a lot further west. I don't know that South has.
No. South has a lot to do with it. Like in Tennessee's, they are West, South, and they are West, but not by like a huge amount. But South does have something to do with it. I assure you, the sun comes up here in the Northeast. Augusta's pretty far east. It's not super west. So I'm just telling you, it's South and West. West, of course, more important.
You know, it's on the border of what town is on the border of South Carolina, which is right next to Augusta, Georgia? Augusta, South Carolina. Another Augusta. Right.
Is that where you stayed?
I believe I stayed in Augusta, South Carolina. It was 15 minutes from Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, what a beautiful area that must have been.
Nice. It was nice.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius.
We all just take acid. Take acid. It's unbelievable.
Hunter and Hart. What's he talking about?
Like you, Fred. I'm not worried.
The Sports Hub.
Hardy, what else is going on?
News broke during Felger and Maz yesterday regarding your Boston Bruins.
Maz, you ready for it to move?
Sure, go.
Boston Bruins just tweeting. Hagens is here. The NHL, hashtag NHL Bruins signing James Hagens to a 3-year entry-level contract. So I'd expect to see him Saturday, the next time the Bruins are in action.
All right, so Maz, very excited.
Wow, what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, wow, he's super excited.
Goodness. All right.
What was Felger's reaction?
I'm just prepared to be disappointed on James Hagens. I am. Call me defeatist or whatever.
Defeatist.
I think the kid's gonna suck. I've watched zero James. Zero. I never saw him at BC. I didn't watch him at all in Providence. I haven't even seen a clip. I swear to God, I've not seen one clip ever of James Hagens. But you heard it here first. That kid's gonna suck.
Well, there you go. It's a good point.
Okay.
You know what? He makes a compelling argument.
Yeah. I mean, who's to argue?
At least he's honest.
I mean, he could be right.
I've never seen him play, but take my word for it.
I know nothing about this but the coin landed tails. So
this kid's gonna suck.
And by the way, how much is he going to suck playing like 9 minutes a game?
Yeah.
So he'll be on the second power play.
Yes.
He'll be on the third line.
Left wing. Yes, third line.
So, I mean, how much is this kid even going to play?
We read this number yesterday. Steve's in the last game, the third line left wing, played 10 minutes.
Yeah. So he'll play 9-10 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't do any worse. You honestly can't do any worse. This kid is not going to hurt you. No more than anyone else has been playing that position.
I guess if he's a complete defensive liability, but I don't even know really how much that would manifest
itself. Did you see the last game?
Well, no, I know what you're saying. Believe me, I won Hagen's playing.
I think it would be great.
For anything else, it's like, okay, like they're not going to win the Stanley Cup this year, but okay, so they're in the playoffs. This is exciting. Why not add a little piece of the future to it right now? And then you're kind of, you know what? Then that reminds me of. It reminds me of, I guess, 2007, 2008, when they played Montreal in the first round of the playoffs and took them to 7 games, and they had that young core.
Mm-hmm.
But they did have Chara and Savard.
Yes,
but they did have Bergeron and that young core in there, and so you were looking at them building something. And with Hagens coming up,
hell yeah,
I get a little.
Jeez.
What's going on with him?
God.
I love Maz, but my Lord. Calm the F down.
It's like someone was attacking him. Leave me alone.
Boy, he certainly likes James Hagens.
Wow.
I wonder if Hagens' parents did that when they found out about it.
Good Lord.
Holy moly.
Sorry, you were saying...
I don't know. What are some
scary.
other things Maz could react to that by doing that?
Well, there's ice cream in the
Maz,
kitchen.
Felger got hit by a car.
Here.
Maz, I grew some nice heirloom tomatoes for you.
Here.
Maz, free toupees at the toupee shack.
Here. Jesus.
Yeah, he's pretty excited over James Hagens. You got to give him some credit for that. All right, well, it was funny yesterday. We were getting on the air, and obviously everyone's talking about this, especially around here, talking about the Rousini Vrabel thing. And Scott Zolak knows both Diana Rousini and Mike Vrabel. So obviously you can sympathize with him. He comes in. No one knows. I mean, no one knows, right, what happened. You can venture a guess what was going on, but no one knows. Scott doesn't know. So he's got to sit down, and he knows, like, both these people's numbers are in his phone. Like, he knows both of these people, and Bertrand knows that. And Bertrand sits down, and we sat in the post-show meeting and watched about 10 minutes of the show. because, and then good on NBC Sports Boston, they would just focus on Scott during silences.
Put the camera right on him.
And again, this is not a shot at Scott. Like, I understand completely. Like, you know both of these people. It's not like they were caught having sex or something. Like, there is still some deniability there, and both of them have denied it. As out there as it seems, they maybe it didn't happen. But Bertrand certainly was not backing down, and he was looking right at him, too.
Yeah, and Bertrand's reaction to Zolak being uncomfortable was...
All right. Well, hopefully something excites us that much this morning, but we'll find out because there's 3 hours left. We'll be back in just a moment. figure out how to
seated.
Oh, congratulations! Yes.
Damn
There you
sight
go.
quicker than when he was trying to get the Olympic hockey there on the Peacock.
Peacock.
Nick, are we good to go, Nick? I don't know. Oh, that's bad.
Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, Nicholas.
Well, those are holes 4, 5, and 6, and they don't even tee off for an.
Yeah, no, they don't get there till 8:45. So.
Oh, Nicholas.
What did you just do? Why did you?
Uh-oh.
Why are you pulling up Netflix?
We have a problem. Yeah. Maybe this music will calm you down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, Nicholas just did Netflix.
Uh-oh.
Oh, great.
That's bad.
And he's putting on Perfect Match. He's put on Joe's Netflix. And he's playing Perfect Match.
No, don't hit play there. That's bad.
He's putting on Seinfeld to calm everyone down. This is Nick's...
You had ESPN Plus pulled up. Why are you putting on Seinfeld now?
Well, what was the excuse? He had his back to me. What did he say?
He said it doesn't start until 8:45. It doesn't start at 8:45.
Oh, you don't get to see. Oh, the earliest we can watch is 8:45. Okay, when they get to the fourth hole.
4, 5, whatever.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Can you hang in?
I got on a monitor.
All right, very good.
You got to.
Everything's
You got to believe. All right. So we just explained it. We had a situation with Diana Rousini and Mike Vrabel. They were at a romantic resort in Arizona. They were claiming that Diana Rousini was on a hiking trip with some of her friends. Mike Vrabel and his friends drove the 120 miles each way, over 120 miles each way, to go spend the day. There's photos that have been taken, very good photos. And if you think about it, if you were staying at like a $2,500 a night hotel and you saw Mike Vrabel and Diana Rousini, you might take a picture to like send your friend, but would you take a picture to sell to the New York Post? Probably not. I don't know if anyone even would know how to do that. So regardless, maybe it wasn't a guest of the hotel that was taking that photo, or someone that was going there to vacation that was a guest at the hotel.
Right.
But here we are. So Scott Zolak, and I'm defending him, he knows Diana Rousini pretty well, and he knows Mike Vrabel very well. He's got to sit down with Mike Vrabel once a week for TV. You know, he played for the Patriots. There's a relationship there. They're like sort of around the same age. Vrabel's a little younger than him, but, you know, they're kind of compadres. So Zolak's stuck here. It's two people having an alleged extramarital affair, both of whom he's close with. So what do you do when you get on the air? Well, if you're Mark Bertrand, who's wonderfully confrontational,
you go right after him.
You do it, and we watched it. It was so great. It was much watch. We were watching it on NBC Sports Boston in the other room, and we couldn't keep our eyes off of it. Like, Bertrand's just looking at him with glee. And it was great because they acknowledged Scott doesn't want to talk about it. And again, you can sympathize with why Scott wouldn't want to talk about it. No one knows that they did anything. No one knows that they had sex. Like, that's not a fact. So Scott's sitting there knowing both of these people, and it's probably going to get back to him, whatever they say. You get back to them, like, if he says anything, you know how these things work. So here's a snippet of how it sounded yesterday on their show.
Wow.
So that's the theme, is the Rage Against the Machine. So the first thing.
Yeah. It's 10:01.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What a night for Mike Vrabel and Diana Rousini. Those two end up in the New York Post. You've seen it by now. Everybody's seen it by now. Mike Vrabel in the New York Post, pictures with Diana Rousini at a swanky desert destination is what's going on there. I don't love these stories. I don't love having to talk about these stories.
Yeah, you hate them. It's the worst.
Until right now.
Yeah, you could tell on TV he hated it.
What's not coming across is the big smile on his face.
Yeah.
While he was saying this.
And he hasn't started.
But the whole time he's staring at Zoe.
Not yet, though. Not yet. He's starting, like, just smiling to himself. I'll tell you when he starts looking at Zoe. He waits to look at Zoe. And Zoe, Zoe is visibly uncomfortable. Like he's backed away from the microphone. He doesn't want to be talking about this. And again, he's friends with both of them, and we don't know they've done anything. We know Rousini looks incredibly unprofessional. We do know that. But we don't know if they hooked up or anything for sure.
It is the story of the day. Who's been on this program before?
Oh, yeah.
Friend of the program. Probably not after today.
Oh, I can guarantee you she ain't a friend of yours after today. She got mad at us for making fun of an interview with O'Connell from the Vikings that she did just about that it was dopey.
The question is, will she send Beadle a note?
Oh, no, she'd have to send way too many notes. And by the way, if she's going to be mad at anyone, I mean, they have to be mad at the New York Post. If this isn't in the New York Post, no one's talking about it. So all people are doing is reacting to photos that were in the New York Post. Like, you kind of got to pick your battles there. Like, if you're going to get mad at anyone, it's New York Post. And it's funny because, like, people will be like, be careful what you say. The thing is, if they were to sue, like, the New York Post or sue someone, the discovery process would be the lawyers for the defense would want everything possible to double check if they were having an affair. So... And you can't just erase texts. Like, they can go back and get them. So the discovery process for both of them, I think, would be extraordinarily uncomfortable. And, oh, by the way, that's all public record. So careful. You better have everything in, like, a really tight bow if you're going to start going after people. So I have a feeling they won't. But nonetheless,
was a friend of the program. Let's just put it this way. Anyone who sees that photo, do you believe that those two are in a romantic relationship? I'll go first. Yes, I believe they are in a romantic relationship. Yes, I believe Mike Vrabel went out of his way to go meet up with his side piece, Diana Rousini. That's what I think is going on. I'm so pissed we even have to talk about this stupid crap.
Yep. You can tell he's
really
just
angry about that.
He's very angry. But he was much harder than we were, to be honest with you.
Red Sox looked good last night. I thought.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
So I'll replay what Bertrand said. And you know, because Scott's friends with both of them, so.
With his side piece, Diana Rousini. That's what I think is going on. I'm so pissed we even have to talk about this stupid crap.
Red Sox looked good last night. I thought Kershaw.
Oh, there you go.
God. He did.
Oh, God.
I mean, okay, so the statements are out. What if they didn't put a statement out and just let it breathe?
It changes nothing.
Yeah,
I don't think it matters.
But like you just said, your biggest problem is the statement.
Well, no, I just think the statements are the only part to even pick at. What is there to say? You think there's a differing opinion on the photos? Do you have a different opinion on the photos? You think they're just friends?
I saw the photos. I read the article. I know her. Obviously, she's been on our show. I know Mike.
Okay, ready? Let's start it over.
Okay, so now Bertrand's looking at him. Now Bertrand's reveling in the fact that Scott is friends with both of them. And you can understand Scott's position, but then you can understand Beadle's position. Beadle wants to make great radio, which he's doing, and Scott is friends with both of them, so you can understand he don't want to. It's hard. Like when you're friends, he doesn't know. And again, we as the public, he might know, I don't know, but we as the public don't know for sure that they're in a romantic relationship. So, you know, what's he going to do? So this is where the drama and the fascinating aspect of it came into play.
Okay, ready? Let's start it over. Diana Rousini, Mike Vrabel. Are they in a romantic relationship?
I'm not getting in the relationship thing here. I'm not doing it.
Oh, well, then what are we doing? I mean, all right, but Tim McCone,
I don't know the private life. I don't know his private life. I don't know hers. So for me to sit there and say, hey, they are in a relationship. I mean, they're past half crossed. She's worked in the league. He's been a coach in the league. He's been a player in the league. And I'm not defending any of it. I don't know. They've released their statements, and they're two adults.
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
I just there was football season. It ended. And they ended up in Arizona, and let's get some food. What's up, Milliken? How's your baseball team? Brewers, right? We just home brew. Sonny Gray. Hey, Sonny. Hey, how you doing? What's up? How you doing? Seriously, how you doing?
You have to sympathize, though, in this instance. But if you know both the people, like say it was I don't know, the groundskeeper at such and such course and the guy who ran the clubhouse at such and such course, and they were in a gay love triangle, but no one knew for a fact, and both of them were married, and we were talking about it on the air. I mean, you would be which way to hide, you know?
Number one, you don't have to say gay. You can just say love triangle.
How many women's greenskeepers are there?
Number two, I think it would be far more scandalous if a director of golf were somehow engaged in an affair with the superintendent of another club. Now that's when you really start crossing boundaries.
Yeah, but that's so illegal that I don't even know if we could talk about it on the air. That's like a felony.
That's too hot.
Yeah. It's like if you went after Hoover when you knew he was up to all that stuff, when he was the head of the FBI.
Texting you guys as soon as this broke last night, and what did I write? Sucks for Zoe.
There's not enough room in the studio for him to back up from the table.
God damn it! I watched all the games, like
three straight back right
for
now.
Zoe.
Break my balls. You didn't watch this. You didn't watch that. And I watched all the goddamn games last night. You know, and then like,
yeah, they're two adults, which makes this worse.
Okay.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's very tough.
What's tough about
it's
it?
Not tough.
I don't understand
what
what the hell. I don't
for
find either one of you today. What do you mean
Me?
it's tough? Yeah, what do you mean? What's tough? What's
For
tough?
Zoe. It's pretty blatant what had took place. Yes.
What's going on?
I know that. I am not stepping in this one. Because I am.
All right.
Guys,
Yeah. And so Bertrand, which is great, will just stare at Zoe and just start talking about it, like make with the talking. And then if Zoe doesn't talk, Bertrand will just sit there and let silence sit. Yeah, just that gaps and those silences. So I understand both positions. I understand Zolek if you know both people, and I understand Bertrand. He knows Zolek's uncomfortable. He knows how interesting it is to keep pushing on him about it. Yeah, that's just like complete silence. I can't believe
Zoe's so upset too because he came in on a day prepared to talk about what had happened the night before. Celtics, Red Sox, Bruins, all in action. He paid attention, and he was ready to engage in conversation about the three active local teams.
Ryan brought up a good point in here, though, just now, Hardy. Was he, or did he see the news when it broke at 6:30 and immediately was like, I'm just going to watch all these games?
That's exactly what I thought, too, I thought maybe he saw the news break and was like, I'm going to be able to participate in all these conversations. Again, here's the silence.
Okay.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's very tough.
What's
tough? It is tough. Tough for him. But again, at best, Rousini looks incredibly unprofessional, which is odd. Again, a bunch of other stuff has happened in her career that we will have for you at 8:00. But she again sent us baked goods because yesterday we pulled no punches. We played you the audio. It was mostly me, the audio of the jokes that I was making, and they were pretty tame. And
no, it was I would say almost exclusively us goofing on another bad podcast.
Yes.
Which is pretty much what we do. But Diana Rousini took that to mean that we were somehow attacking and also making it even more difficult for a woman in the sports business. And to that, she sent us a passive-aggressive note along with a basket of pastries saying, well, it's my job to keep the men fed. And, it's, tough enough as it is out here, having to do all these jobs. And I'm like, what? That's not even what this is about. It has nothing to do with you being a woman. It's us goofing on a podcast. But, all right, if you want to make it about that, then that's what she did. Now, there's these allegations that you said, Fred, that have been made about her and against her by wives of executives or people just watching some really strange interactions that she's had while on the air, not in her personal life, but on the air doing her job as a reporter. Some of the things that she's said over the years, these things have a way of kind of like building up after a while, and they probably would have never been looked at again had this not happened. But if you take it upon yourself to become a martyr for some kind of a cause, and then engage in at the very least, and I agree with you, Fred, like unprofessional, out of bounds behavior with one of your sources, then all this stuff is going to get brought up. All these times I believe she was gaslighting us in that situation. Now it appears to absolutely be that way. Then it's going to get brought up again.
Yeah, thou dost protest too much or whatever the series that I was trying to sound smart saying, and then completely fumbled it. And to fairness to the show, I mean, we've been on the air for 20 years, and there's been a lot of female reporter coach-player relationships. And I usually say, great. Like when Farrell got with the lady from TV, I mean, who cares? Like when Jenny Dell got with Will Middlebrooks, it was like, good. Proximity leads to, again, affection. Like that's how people, like before the internet, you would meet people or you would spend time with them and you would realize that you liked them. None of that it's all the sending of the pastry. That is why this now fascinates me, because she was like, I am woman, hear me roar. And now even if they didn't have an affair, it's completely unprofessional. It just is. Like you don't do that. Like, and we will not have a reporter on the air that says that you do that, or that will be afraid. This is so bad that no one's even going to be afraid to say anything. They'll just go, yeah, it's bad. We had McBride on yesterday. He was joking around about it. Like, you know how like sometimes reporters get squirrely because they'll be uninteresting,
right?
And they don't want to like have an opinion on anything that's not directly related to their sport. Like this, I am quite confident, female, male, trans, anyone that you have on is going to go, hey, yeah, that was completely inappropriate. So, I mean, good. I mean, if she worked for like E or if she worked for Entertainment Tonight,
right,
then no. But it also just very quickly shows you the power of the feminine wiles. Because if Diana Rousini walked into a room, the room would not stop and go, oh my God, look at this. Like it's not like some siren came in and seduced the room with the glint in her eye. It's a 43-year-old woman with 2 kids. This is not they don't need kids. They just need a flannel shirt. Now, yeah, Hardy, if she came in with a flannel shirt and beat up sneakers on.
Yeah, a little too gussied up for my taste, but
yeah, you can't like that.
43 and a couple of kids. I was like, yes, a bit more.
Oh, I don't mind that either. Look,
bit more.
I love. It's easier for me to date women with children because they understand. So I prefer that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this isn't some like penthouse chick or like Playboy model that like walked in and the guy was just like head over heels. I mean, this is a woman that's a football reporter, and in a sea of hot women football reporters and sports reporters, I mean. So it's just, ladies, you might not know it, and I know there's a lot of bad things that come with being a lady, but you show enough interest in a man, there's a very good chance that man will sleep with you.
We're simple creatures.
Oh, just let Hardy go.
Yeah, we got to.
John Carales is going to be on with us. We'll handle the interview.
Opening ceremony started. Everybody, Jack, Tom. Gary, they're all on the first.
Everyone is.
Gary's there.
Well, yeah, Gary Player's there, but at least he's 90 and looks good. Tom Watson's the most boring human being in the world. He's the Ivan Lendl of golf. He's just someone at a very bad time in the sport was dominating.
What he did at the
Might
British,
as well
though,
be a brick wall you look at.
Yeah.
at age 58.
No personality,
That's
nothing.
about the same. Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah, he had plenty of personality with that 8-iron that he sailed over the green on the 72nd hole. He tried to get it up and down. I couldn't believe he putted it. You're Tom Watson. You've got wedges named after you.
What
Why
year
not
is
chip
that?
that thing close?
I'm giving you credit. I'm giving this because
2012?
Jack Nicklaus, who is politically Jack Nicklaus, but he's very old.
Yeah.
He is an icon. Gary Player is 90 and he still looks really good. Tom Watson is a boring dud.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Watson beat Nicholas once.
Well, who cares? He's boring.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back. John Carales will join us in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
Hi, it's Fred. Soon win.
not only hit the opening drive of the three of them, but then kind of did his now patented karate kick in the air afterward and almost jogged off the tee. Jack went next, and his son had to put the tee in the ground for him, tee up.
Oh,
the
his
ball.
poor son caddying for him, just carrying his balls his whole life.
His snap hooked one off the tee, and then Tom Watson. We didn't get the full shot of it, but
they
he was
didn't
watching it. He was watching it. Tom Watson hit one, and went back and looked. It was 2009 when he made the charge there at Turnberry for the British Open. Had a chance to win it. Had the lead on the 72nd hole. So he's 76 years old now.
You hear that,
he looks
John?
good.
They didn't even bother showing him hit his ceremonial tee shot.
They showed him in close up. They didn't have the camera behind.
Yeah, they follow the flight of the ball.
Yeah, they didn't bother.
No,
they went this dud. Who cares what he does off the tee?
Yeah, let's get to the real stuff.
I'm not any particular fan of Tom Watson, but I don't think you are portraying this accurately.
Ivan Lendl.
You could say
of golf.
You could say they were more disrespectful to Jack by actually showing where the ball went, because that was not pretty.
Yeah, they didn't have the shot tracer on Jack's. It would have made a nice little hump over to the left.
Yeah, Tom Kite was the one that was ruling the game back then.
I love Tom Kite.
Yeah,
I
you did.
loved him.
He would burn ants with his glasses.
He got more out of his body and his game than maybe any player ever.
Love Tom Kite.
So many prostitutes. He really enjoyed them.
Oh, yeah.
I really did.
No, I said he really enjoyed prostitutes.
Oh, I don't know if that's true, but if he did, then he earned them.
I don't think it is true. He's dead, right? He can't sue me. John Carales is the Celtics beat writer for Sports Illustrated. Tom Kite's not dead?
No.
He's still alive, right? Gotta be.
Won the U.S. Open in 1989. And it was
So
like
he can't
yesterday.
be dead now.
No.
No, all right.
He's still alive. 76.
Yeah.
Oh, with that lifestyle, it's got to be a quick end.
Small man, too, apparently. 5'9".
Yeah.
170.
But what do you got out of that body, Johnny? I'll never understand.
Yes, you got to maximize your potential.
He's
Very
a Peyton
important.
Pritchard type.
Later on, once we finish up with Mr. Corrales here, I'll tell you my Tom Kite story from the Buick Open. And
Oh, good.
It's a good one.
Let's hurry through this.
Well, I look forward to that. John Carales writes about the Celtics for Sports Illustrated. John, hello.
That's a tease.
There you go.
like that?
Run off the Tom Kite story.
Did you want to hear it now?
No.
Okay.
Good job, John. Appreciate it.
It's all right, John.
Well done.
You speak for the audience. Thank you. All right, so here we are. Things are pretty much locked into what they're going to be. Short of so there's.
Celtics would have to lose their last three, and the Knicks would have to win their last three.
Okay,
starting
so
tonight.
Let's just say the Celtics are going to play a play-in team. So in the first round of the playoffs, is there anyone, John, that you favor over anyone, and who's the least? Who is the team out of the play-in teams that would be, or the teams left that could be in the play-in that is someone you wouldn't want to face?
I think the Miami is a team that I feel comfortable playing. Philly is a team I feel comfortable playing. Toronto, those three teams are the three I'd be most comfortable playing. I know Orlando, obviously Charlotte. Everybody will say Charlotte, and they're really good. I think the Celtics would beat them. It wouldn't be easy, but I think the Celtics would beat them. I know Orlando. I get some grief for saying Orlando is a team I wouldn't want to play because of the season that they've had. I just don't like the matchup. I don't like how big and physical. I think it would just be like getting hit by two by fours for even if it's 4 or 5 games. I just don't like the Celtics don't play their best against those big physical teams. And I know Orlando is not exactly what we remember them to be, but I just don't like that matchup. So. Give me those other 3 teams, Orlando and Charlotte. I'll pass on them.
The other part of it is, you look at the NBA standings, it could be one of 4 or 5 teams. I mean, right now, Toronto's barely out of the play-in, or you have Orlando, Philadelphia, and Charlotte. Those 4 teams are a game and a half apart. And then you drop down to Miami. So we're really not sure what's going to happen. For the here and now, though, I mean, the Celtics have some managing to do here with a back-to-back coming up.
Yeah.
Is something wrong, Fred?
No. Just go ahead. I shouldn't have done that. It has nothing to do with you. You said here and now, so I went.
okay.
Letters to Cleo.
Come on,
Okay.
you know what I was
the
doing.
comfort of the knowledge of the rise above the
My
sky, but could never
mistake.
parallel the challenge of the acquisition of the here and now.
Well done.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
better than the
I
Watson
I
stuff.
shouldn't have interrupted. I'm sorry.
Tom Kite.
So actually, he won the Open in '92, John.
And
it was a couple of years before that, and I went to see him at the Buick Open, and I had read the Harvey Penick book, where Tom Kite, of course, was one of Harvey Penick's famous students, and Tom Kite said that Harvey Penick would always tell him before a tournament, take dead aim. So I'm watching Tom Kite at the U.S. Open, and I see him hit this glorious, glorious approach shot into a par 4, and he goes up there and he makes the birdie. And as he's walking off the green, I position myself at a point where I would have access to Tom Kite, and everyone's saying, great birdie, Tom. Nice putt, Tom. But I knew it was the approach shot that really, really set it up. So as he walked past me, I said to him, and this is a quote, dead aim, Tom. And he stopped for just an infinitesimal moment, and he made eye contact with me. He said, hey, thanks. Gave me a little finger point. He knew that I knew, and we had a moment there as he made that putt for birdie. And I had invoked his great teacher, Harvey Penick, in that moment. It was a shared moment, and it was something approaching, dare I say, bliss for both of us.
Isn't the Buick Open he should have just won it every year because he was the Buick of golf players? He was like a Buick Skylark. Undependable.
Just crank them right off the assembly line. They're all the same.
Yeah. Boring, undependable.
John Carales, your thoughts?
Teams are Buicks of playoffs.
Who's that? I was going to say, who's the Buick of the playoffs right now? Or maybe more specifically, who's the Buick on the Celtics right now?
The Buick on the Celtics would be Baylor Shireman.
There you go. I like that. That's a good call.
Yes.
That's a good call. Who's playing tonight, John? Open night of a back-to-back. Is Baylor Shireman playing tonight?
Starting.
Baylor will play. Jason's playing, which is a big deal for him. Jalen, Derek, Nimi, and Sam are all questionable. I'm going to guess 2 of them sit, probably Jalen, maybe Sam, but because of the back-to-back, Jason's not playing in the back-to-back, so I think they're going to just kind of space it out. Two will play tonight, not tomorrow, and vice versa.
Now, is there really that big a deal for Tatum to go back to Madison Square Garden? Obviously, the media is going to make a big deal of this because he got hurt last year at Madison Square Garden, and this is a game against the Knicks right before the playoffs. Is that a big deal? Is this a specific thing for Missoula to have him play in this game of the back-to-back to get it out of the way?
Listen, I don't know that he's going to go in there and break down crying, but I do think there's something to, going back to the scene of, your leg exploding and kind of feeling that thing again. The last time he was there, he was in a side room by the locker room crying with his parents. And so there's, that is something that you have to kind of go through. It is a hurdle. He said it is. And it's something you do have to go through. It's different for different people. Some people are going to walk in there and be like, yeah, no problem. Who cares? Some people are going to walk in there and be like, have moments, have the ghosts of this is where my Achilles exploded. So I don't know. Tatum is open. Joe was on your air yesterday saying that he's, it's good to see him be vulnerable. I think there's something to that. Jason is kind of honest about that stuff. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but it is a thing. And anytime you're going to be asked about it and have that be a storyline, it puts it front of mind. And it's more than just a regular season game. It's more than that. How much more than that? It kind of depends on the person. I don't think it's that much more, but it's something.
Yeah, I think maybe the last time we talked, John, I made the point where I said, I think once Tatum gets out there, and he went out there and was playing 27 minutes right away, that a lot of this mental stuff and a lot of this anguish that he's either legitimately feeling or is being put upon him by the people asking about the injury, and are you worried about testing the Achilles and all this stuff, it's going to go away once you start playing. And you got to believe, just based on his performance and the way he's playing, that most of these mental hurdles have been cleared, except when you go back to the scene of the crime and it happens, and it does kind of all get brought up again.
This is one of those times where I think Joe specifically put him in. And now that we're working through this, Joe's like, let's get this done now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this
it.
now.
Yeah.
If for nothing else, so people like me can ask the stupid questions and he can answer the stupid questions and we get our stories and then it's done. And then the next time he can be like, I've done it. It's over. It's fine. It's probably fine. But, if you've ever been in like an accident on the highway, you drive by that spot on the highway, you stop and look at that spot and be like, oh man, that was rough.
Well, it's also Madison Square Garden, and Madison Square Garden means a lot to everyone that plays the game, obviously. And sure, I mean, look, you are a career athlete and you get a injury that's devastating and very difficult to come back from. Of course, you're missing, what at that point appeared to be a year of your career. Yeah, I mean, it's a massive, massive, massive traumatic deal. People think that just because it's not like cancer or something that it's not traumatic. I mean, this is the way the guy makes his living. It's the way what he's worked his whole life for. You rip something and then you might not be the same. I mean, a million thoughts are going through your head. So no, I understand why. I understand why he would be like. Look, like you said, I don't think he's gonna like go like, fall down and faint when he sees the floor. But I'm sure that maybe it's like a good step in that, like it's like okay. The reclamation is done. Like I've risen and now here I am.
It's like the final mile of the marathon.
Right, exactly. That's a better way to put it. You're the writer. Yeah, you're the writer. All right, go ahead, Jonathan.
No, just one other quick thing, and it keeps popping up, and I'm wondering if this is anything we should be concerned with the playoffs coming up. Jaylen Brown has what's been termed Achilles tendonitis, and you and other people have written about this, and it's popped up on the injury report again today. Is this anything to be worried about?
I don't think so. I think, with the week off before tendonitis, there's like people think of it as like an Achilles strain or something like that. It's a little bit different. It's just inflammation. He was after the Charlotte game, he was walking around a little gingerly. I think this is just part of the end of a long season. He's played 70 games. Things like this kind of crop up. You hear Achilles and people just freeze. I think this is just a rest thing. It's an opportunity for the team to put him on the injury report somehow and give him a day off. It's legit. I think you probably could scan every player in the NBA and say they have some level of inflammation in a tendon that you can call tendonitis. So I think he's going to be fine. He's been playing great, so you don't see it on the floor. It's just part of, end of a long season. Everybody's going to have something like this.
All right, John Carales. Read him in Sports Illustrated as the Celtics go to Madison Square Garden tonight in let's face it, is a playoff preview. You would have to assume is a playoff preview. So we will look at that with great interest tonight. Thank you, John. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks. All right. Anything in the Masters?
No, I will request that Nicholas come back up here and get the ESPN Plus coverage.
But this is the one,
the Masters app, which I've been touting and saying is so good and so good and so good. They're not doing the on the range coverage for another 40 minutes. I don't know why they just don't give us.
But the Seinfeld with the lawyer that Jerry dates, that is her brother is the delivery driver that Lane ran into. That one's on. You're gonna turn that off.
No, you can leave that on. That's fine.
No, I'm just playing with you. Nick, get in here.
It's underway. It started. It has started. The Masters has started. Two players have teed off. Haotong Lee just teed off.
You got to run the 8 o'clock segment. So I'm not making that up. So you got to be locked in at 8.
I'll be fine.
All right. I worry about you. At 8:20 when we got Tom Caron on, you can go about your business.
There will be 5 golfers. Only 5 golfers on the course at 8 o'clock.
I need him locked in at 8.
Yeah.
And after 8, he can take his foot off the gas a little bit. I can handle Caron and Johnson. John and I can handle that.
Yep.
We can even do email and stack. I need you for the stack. I need you. Have yourself ready at 8 and like 9:45.
Okay.
You got a nice hour window in there.
All right. Well, if Nicholas can pull this thing up now, I'll have 15 minutes. And I'll come back to work for a little while, and then I'll catch you again like an hour and a half later.
Very good. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports.
I know it's important to keep my men fed. And even if she wasn't being passive aggressive about it, which I almost certain she was, it's still just weird. And like, okay, fine. We one day for 15 minutes made fun of your podcast.
And not only that, but like you're a national reporter. You are known as like the NFL insider right now. Who cares what some local sports talk show is saying about you in Boston? Like,
Well-
what? Now, we've talked about how it got back to her. I don't for a second think she was listening. So, one of her so-called friends probably alerted her to it, and which did her no favors. But why follow up on it if you're her? Why would you? Why further this at all?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So we, it was annoying, but we didn't go like crazy about it.
No.
I mean, I forgot about it pretty much. I don't think that we talked about it again. I mean, if you're a super duper listener and you like know everything we said, maybe I'm off, but it certainly wasn't like a topic of discussion or a recurring joke on the show. The only thing is we had the note taped to my monitor, but I needed to read it yesterday, so I took it off the monitor, and now I don't know where it is. Probably gone. But
I'll find it. I saw what you did with it yesterday. You went and flipped
I
it.
don't
It's gonna
care.
be behind
I really actually don't care at all. But it is interesting that when someone calls you out like that, at the very least, hanging out with an NFL head coach when you're an NFL insider, interlocking fingers, which Hardy's wife gave him credit for recognizing.
He gave us all credit for understanding the importance of it. Yeah, and it was
an email or a call.
It was the email that it put it very, very succinctly.
But that is like a very intimate thing. That's like something when you're spooning with a woman, you'll interlock fingers, or if you're having a very like loving sex, like a very like a missionary face-to-face type situation, you'll interlock fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is like a.
I think
like
the scene,
I'm really into you.
I think the scene in Terminator, maybe when Sarah.
Here's the scene where I interlock fingers. I was saying to her, "Look, I'm begging you, but I can't."
No. It wasn't the Terminator. It was Sarah Connor.
Yeah,
and,
Sarah Connor. I said to her, I said, "Look, I can interlock my fingers."
No, she didn't have sex with the robot. No, it was Reese. It was her
the
and
robot
Reese.
that says, I can't even do Arnold right now. I'm too stuffed up.
I believe they interlocked fingers, but it was Alex who emailed yesterday and said simply in the subject line, Vrabes, his email said, interlocking fingers is the same as penetration. So.
Have you ever been having? I'll ask you this: have you ever been having sex with a woman and like you were like you get caught up and you're like, wow, like, and you're like looking at them and like you can tell this is like a very intimate. Like sex is always intimate, but this one is like you're like, okay,
not
like,
always.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I mean, even if you get a girlfriend experience, you pay for that. You're gonna get that, and so. But that's like the kind of thing that if you were like thinking about it, you would like interlock fingers. Like if you're spooning with someone and like you go to like hold hands and you interlock fingers, that's like you're.
If you interlock fingers during the course of sex, it means more. It does.
You know, like how there's hookers that won't kiss.
Oh, yeah.
I'd imagine. That,
I hate that.
Right? It doesn't make sense.
You okay?
Don't make me feel like
that always bugs me.
Don't make me feel like a loser. But I wonder if it's the same with interlocking fingers. If they would be like, just keep moving their hands.
Right.
Like, right? They're having sex with hookers. They just keep moving their hands.
Well,
They won't let you interlock fingers.
Sometimes, and this has happened to me more than once, they'll do that as a means to convey intimacy, but they're just trying to steal your ring. Your pinky rings. And
That's
whatnot.
right. That's
My
right.
goodness.
They're very sneaky.
My goodness. All right. Well, we'll be back. Hardy has found a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, then credit to Ryan and 12 for mining the interwebs for these, because there are some absolute gems.
All right. So we will have those for you coming up in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports. The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. Essential Sports Hub headline. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics will play their final road game of the regular season tonight against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. A win in this game would clinch the 2 seed in the East. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7. The tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Namias Queta, and Sam Hauser are all questionable on the opening night of a back-to-back. Bruins have signed top draft pick James Higgins to a 3-year entry-level contract. He will wear number 44 for the big club after playing 6 games with Providence. Bruins off until Saturday when they host Tampa Bay. As for the Red Sox, Sonny Gray shut Milwaukee down on only 3 hits over 6 1/3 shutout innings, and then he got some help from his offense.
And a base hit into left center field. Here comes Contreras. He is in to score. Throw to third. Abreu diving. He's safe. Red Sox grab another run. Trevor Story, another RBI, his second of the game. Does he come to life? It is 4-0.
That's Dave O'Brien on Nesson. Trevor Story had the 2 RBIs on the way to a 5-0 win over the Brewers at Fenway Park. Red Sox take 2 out of 3. They open up a 6-game road trip in St. Louis tomorrow night. Patriots have announced that Rob Gronkowski, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the three finalists for election to the team's Hall of Fame. And round 1 of the Masters underway at Augusta. Only 5 men on the course at the moment. Defending champion Rory McIlroy will tee off at 10:31 and not a moment sooner. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Never, ever replace your roof again. It's East Coast Metal Roofing's Spring into Savings event, where Sports Hub listeners get 10% off their new roof that's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Call 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
Big show on the way.
Need a little help getting started in the morning?
It's very dangerous.
They've got the experts.
So, no.
Toucher and Hardy.
No. Sometimes then he comes out, you're like, ah!
So
it's frightening.
This was the one song I was able to play on my middle school instrument, because when you want to be a drummer, at least back in the day, you had to learn music first.
Mm-hmm.
So before you got a drum of any kind, you got bells, which is essentially a mini xylophone and is the heaviest thing to carry around, and had to take it like to and from school. And it was in this big case, but it was just, like a mini xylophone.
But it's interesting.
Yeah. That was the one thing I was able to play.
All right, so here is the deal. Diana Rousini, by now you've seen the pictures of her and Mike Vrabel. And, okay, again, for us personally, just I'll do it in 10 seconds. We made fun of her bragging about her podcast to O'Connell, basically. And O'Connell, the coach of Vikings, and I joked like, oh, we're only doing this because she's a woman. It was like a super sarcastic statement, basically making fun of people who make fun of female reporters for being female, like a Whitlock. And she responded to that by sending us pastries, and it was super weird and like a dumb passive-aggressive note. So we were like, that's weird. And we addressed it that day, but then kind of forgot about it. But every time I see her, I'm like, oh, that's the lady that got offended easily. So at the very least, she was at a resort in far away from anything happening with the NFL. Let's make that clear. Like over 120 miles away from anything happening with the NFL. Regardless if she was with friends or he was with friends, she was in a bikini with Mike Vrabel, hugging and holding in hot tubs and rooftop bars and all day, all into the night. And at the very least, it's a glass house now. I mean, you're using your feminine wiles in a way to get to a guy, because again, I'm not sure Mike Vrabel drives 2.5 hours out to see Mike Reese, and that they're together in bathing suits, broing out, hugging, and interlocking fingers and things. Now, look, men and women, like, you might be more likely to hug. All those things, I understand, but like again. She's the one that came after us. We just made fun of her podcast, and then she made this big passive-aggressive thing about us because she's a quote-unquote woman. That's why we were doing it. Ridiculous. You listen to the show. We make fun of people. I'm very insecure. I'm making fun of everyone, and especially other broadcasters. I have to make myself feel better. But anyway, Hardy and the guys put together quite a list. Rousini now, if you go back to her, throughout her career, Hachi-Machi, if I'm her husband, I'm like, 23 skidoo. Thank you so much, Diana. You just made me the hero of the children in the world. I am so out of here. I don't need this. You're not that great looking anyway. You seem like a huge pain in the ass. See ya.
3 prime examples of that, starting with Diana Rousini, Alma Zolak, and Bertrand, Radio Row at the Super Bowl.
This is
How are you doing?
Diana Rousini, it's good to see you.
Gosh, every Boston organization's got this on in their office watching.
Right. Yeah,
They
we're
all
going to
do.
get yelled at probably after this if you say something
Stacey
wrong.
James has already got his phone up.
I get corrected all the time. I get corrected all the time too. So you're safe. You're
Shout
safe.
out. Are we live right now?
Yeah, of course we're live.
Shout out, Stace.
Yeah, it's good seeing you.
Guys.
How's family?
How are you? My family's good. I got
Good.
2 little guys, a 3-year-old
I know,
and a
you're
2-year-old.
spitting them out.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yep.
We're done there.
Good.
So mom on the loose here in New Orleans. It's been awesome. This city is spectacular. We should never move the Super Bowl out of the city.
How bad is it, Miami? Remember how bad Miami was?
So I loved Miami.
I'd go to Miami. I'd visit Miami. I could visit Miami. It shouldn't have a Super Bowl.
No, I did things in Miami I haven't even told my husband because it's just I had that much fun. It was well, not like that, but like I knew he would he would judge the kind of partying I was doing. I don't know what got into me. I just remember being down there acting like it was my last day on earth.
Right.
And I'm not. I've learned. I've grown. I was a young girl then.
Yeah.
I'm a woman. I'm a mother now.
Yeah, she's charming. I mean, she's very charming. But if I'm her husband now, I'm thinking, like, because if we never played that before, because why would we? She's being charming and kind of fun. I wouldn't go so far as to say funny, but she's being charming and fun. She's being loose with the guys. She's everything you want a guest to be. I didn't know that existed. It was never brought to my attention because who cares? But now, if you're a husband, you go, maybe I don't like this so much.
Maybe I do want to know what you were doing in Miami.
Or how about I don't? Bye. And every guy and woman knows what I'm talking about. You and Hardy's brought up friends who said this to him. I've been in relationships. I know you guys have been. You have to have been in a relationship before, where you were just like, I would like it so much if they cheated on me, because if they cheated on me, it's a ticket out, and I don't have to be the bad guy. They're the bad guy, and I can leave. And if you have kids, you have to understand what I'm saying. If they're young, not if they're like in their teens or something, but if they're young, and like the other person cheats, you can just be like, well, I don't have to deal with your parents. I don't and especially if you're married to a public figure, now it's like, great. Like, thank you. Bye. I'm not going to, and look, my intention's not to talk to the press, but I could. My intention's not to talk to the press. I just want to get this over with. See you later. Goodbye. All right. What's the next one, Hardy?
Next one is on ESPN Get Up. And this is Diana Rousini commenting on what had to have been a sports marriage proposal. Probably the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift thing. I'm guessing it was the context for this.
Aaron Rodgers, Ryan.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Okay. But this is what she had to say about men, marriage proposals, weddings.
Diana, we want to give you one more chance to address this. It happened earlier in our program today. For those of you who weren't watching, Diana Rousini said this.
And I think we all do weird things when we're in love, and we overshare and overpost. And look, he's getting married to a beautiful actress. I'm married to someone average. I don't post a lot about him. If I was married to someone beautiful, I'd overpost too.
Now, this doesn't seem nice. We have put together photos of Diana's husband here for everyone to see so you can make some amends on national television.
We're average together. And you know what the worst part is? He sent me a text during that segment, not watching because he actually works for a living.
I mean, talk about chewing up the scenery. More than anything else, it's like take it a notch down. Can we make it somewhat conversational? You can mention her as a comedian. So, guys, what's going on? She's like Kreischer.
Well, she's
whatever
just
the hell that guy's name is, just chewing it up.
She's just
breaking tables.
Matching Greenberg's enemy. It's like,
You know what? I made fun of him because Greenberg made this statement that the most important thing on the radio was pre-selling. And so I was like, well, that shows what an interesting program you must have been hosting. You stupid. And I called him a dick because I don't know. He's not a dick, but I called him a dick. And then I was on Feinbaum, and Feinbaum was like, you're the one who called Greenberg a dick. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, maybe he's not a dick. I backtracked on that. But I mean, what a stupid thing to say. Like, you know, radio guys is really hard to get into. You have to be able to pre-sell, and that's the most important thing.
Like tease?
Tease.
Yeah.
Like the tease is the like, oh yeah, you're right. For the audience, like compelling you to keep listening by telling you what we're about to do in the future is the most important thing I could do, which having had a successful radio career, not nearly as successful as Greenberg, but I would say better. If you, I would, under any circumstances, put my radio show, best of my radio shows, up against Mike Greenberg's best of his radio shows, and decidedly be prouder of mine. But and then so I just thought it went around with how bland that show was. His whole thing was that he was going to tease what's coming up the best.
He's the best teaser in the business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that's boring. You're boring. Like Howard Stern never teased anything really.
Yeah, now that you mention it, you're right.
No, he never teased any. Believe me, I listen to everybody, and I'm a radio nerd. He never teased anything. There were also those top 40 jocks in Imus that would end on a joke and bam into commercials, which Opie and Anthony used to always make fun of.
Well, you know the time, 8:15. Quack quack.
Well, when Chipper
Son
would
of a
go,
brick.
when Chipper would say something like a joke, and he would go like, "No, you're full of crap. Go to break. Go to break. Go to break. Home run, Chipper. Go to break. Go to break." And not a home run. All right, that we left. I'm sorry, Rossini.
And he said, good luck today. Be great on get-ups. So the guy's got a
Oh my God! It's like you're like a high school drama student doing a monologue. I'm more annoyed by her than anything else, than anything about her husband. I'm sorry to be derailing this, but she's annoying, right?
Yeah, it's too much.
Absolutely, she's annoying.
It
She's
sounds like a
exceptionally annoying.
It sounds like a high school student on a stage doing a monologue from watch yourself, Hardy. Stay focused. You only have to be in for 4 more minutes, 5 more minutes.
Just double checking.
Fred, this is if you are looking at a blind date and her friend describes her as bubbly, and then this shows up, you're like, no, this is not. No,
take it down.
No,
Spalding Gray, who was the guy who did all the one-man plays?
What?
Now where are we going? What is the what?
Never mind. I'll get the reference.
Okay.
Because I got a reference that someone would be very excited that I talked about, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
watching because he actually works for a living. And he said, good luck today. Be great on get-ups. So the guy's got a heart of gold, and here I am on national TV killing him. Look, we're average together, but he makes me above average because he married me. So I am so sorry. I need to really stop killing my husband on television. I'm going to be divorced by Christmas.
No.
Well, no, Christmas.
Oh, no way.
2026?
Yeah, by Christmas 2026. Yeah, but there's no way this gets wrapped up by 2025. The lawyers won't have it. Yeah, the way that divorces work.
Well, this is 2026.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2027. No, but not by Christmas 2026. There's no way. No way. You got to get the court to like sign off on it. You have to go to court no matter what. Like during my divorce, we never had a mediator and never did any of that. We never had anything in court except for the divorce. And I told you, we like held hands while they were doing the divorce.
Did you interlock fingers?
No.
Okay, wow. Tells you something right there.
I wouldn't have done that.
So, all right.
Not during a divorce.
He calls her husband average looking, and that's great. This finally.
He's a handsome guy, too. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
he is.
And Spalding Gray was the right reference. She's supposed to be this temptress. That's the other thing about it is I might say this. He is better looking than her.
Once you say it, you can't take it back.
Like if she was on a college softball team, I mean, she would be a knockout. But nowadays in media, I mean, they hire hot chicks. Let's not deny it.
So finally, she's on Dan Le Batard, and she's talking
Who's
about
been very mean to me.
Talking about Jimmy Garoppolo and the night before her wedding.
I think when men propose, that's their wedding day. Like, that's when you guys are all in. It's not really all in for us yet. I think for women, the actual wedding day is the moment. So, I mean, Kev was all down for it. I was the one that was very skeptical. I was like, oh, I don't know. And at the time, I was working at ESPN, and I remember I was still working. And so the night before my wedding, I'm making calls, and I had a phone interview set up with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I remember Jimmy was great. He made like a funny joke, like, hey, it's night before your wedding. You sure you want to do this? And I'm thinking, like, of all the people in my life that I'm going to talk to the night before my wedding, the one guy my dad wanted me to, or my mom wanted me to marry was Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's calling me. Like, this is a sign. I of course, did not marry Jimmy Garoppolo.
No,
I married this other guy, this average-looking guy.
Okay, so out of everything we played, that's the thing that would have pissed me off. That's the one thing that would have pissed me off. The average-looking thing, I wouldn't have cared. You went out to Miami and partied. I don't care.
But in that one statement, she says, I wasn't excited about the proposal. I had misgivings about it. And the night before the wedding, when instead of like being all in on the wedding, I'm working, doing these phone interviews, and I'm having second thoughts. I think of being on the phone with Jimmy Garoppolo as being a sign that maybe I shouldn't be getting married.
Right. Like when I proposed to you, you weren't sure. Like, okay, fine. I'm rich. I'm going to go bang other chicks. Like, that's the thing is that, like, okay, like you're acting like you did me a favor by marrying me. This guy's not the one. Who's the artist that you went to see that married the guy that's the captain of the alligator boat? She's Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey.
Like Lana Del Rey. Like if you're the captain of the alligator boat, she married literally a guy. She went to Louisiana. She took an alligator tour. This guy's running the tour, and she ended up marrying the guy. She's like living in Louisiana. She's super rich. I think she's good looking. She's like super rich. I think she's really good looking, actually. And if you're the alligator guy and she says she had second thoughts, yeah, of course she did. I'm the alligator guy. But if I'm some executive at some big company that's good looking, you're telling you had doubts? How about this? F you. How about I stick it in every hot chick that comes around and wants to be with me? Like this is a two-way street, my dear. You had second thoughts? You're no model, honey. You're an NFL reporter. Like let's bring it down a notch. Like Jennifer Lawrence. I get it. Like you're the belle of the ball.
And what an odd thing to say too. Like my mom wanted me to marry Jimmy Garoppolo. Why would you be able to marry Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, do you have anything in common with? Well, I cover the NFL, so of course I'm gonna.
I'm 20 years older than you, and I cover the NFL. Yeah, no,
I'm gonna marry a football player. Well, wait a second. I thought you were pushing back against that whole that whole narrative.
No, Vrabel is my age. She's 43. She gets Vrabel, but not for marrying, but for liaisons or to at least interlock fingers. Yeah, that out of the three that you played is the one that would have been. I would have been like, all right. Well, what the hell's going?
I agree. That's the worst one.
Either hurt again. You hurt my feelings because I'm madly in love with you and we're married. Like you, like this. Like what are you doing that? Like hurt my feelings because I didn't even say when I got married on the radio about my wife. Like I didn't know if I wanted to marry her. Like I wouldn't do that.
No,
I wouldn't have said that. And my ex-wife was super cool because the whole time we were together, I was on the radio and I talked about everything. I was worse then than I am now. I was like trying anything to get people to listen. So I was flying off I was saying crazy yes. And I would never have gone, I wasn't sure I wanted to marry her. That's like a third rail for me. And me at 30, I mean, in Atlanta, 29 in Atlanta, I mean, I was out of control, and I wouldn't have said that. So, I mean, I wanted people to really like me. So I was throwing anything at the wall, getting in trouble every day.
Cozy calendar. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
Bone zone. Scheduled.
Yeah, that was
Scheduled
we
intimacy.
had scheduled intimacy in the bone zone.
Yeah.
It's like, and she was into it. I would put bone zone. Be like,
She called in one day to make sure the Bone Zone calendar was correct.
She wanted the Bone Zone to happen as much as anyone.
Nothing more romantic than scheduled coitus.
Nothing more romantic than marriage
people.
after being married for 15 years. I mean, I will counter with it's almost more romantic to schedule the coitus at that point. At least you know you're getting it. Everyone involved knows it's happening. I mean, it's become, at least in my marriage, I mean, at a certain point, it's always the same. Having sex with someone for 15 years, you've seen them birth children. This isn't the erotic affair it was when we first got together. I don't. Maybe I'm unique in that when we first started having sex, it was wildly more exciting than it was 15 years into the marriage, 18 years into the relationship.
You got to keep it new, man. You got to try new stuff.
And that's why you're still married. Congratulations. I'm not. I'm only speaking for myself. That I'm on record as saying. I never would have said because I was very excited to marry my wife. I was very excited to get engaged, or I wouldn't want to have done it. Sex when we first met was infinitely more fun than it was that when 15 years into the marriage. I'm thinking I'm not alone in that. I believe, do not feel that way. And that is why you have been married for so long. You have a beautiful wife. I don't doubt it. I think for Al Bundy and me, it did become a little bit different. Now, I still did it and enjoyed it while I was doing it, but it wasn't something I was like.
It was a real chore for Al.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't like Peg, who wanted it all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, Peg just wanted it all the time.
Peg had a high motor.
Yeah. And people go like she was super hot. Was she?
No.
Was she?
Not really.
Come on.
No.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Judging more women.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the
the story.
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
You went back-to-back games. You go on the road. You have an off day. Yeah, I think it just overall it was it was a great game last night, and then to continue that into today, it was just a good finish to the homestand.
Yes, there you go. The Boston Red Sox won a series against a very good team, which I would contend, if you were crapping on them for the way they started the season, which was deserved, you have to give them a lot of credit for the way they played against the Brewers.
Nothing to complain about, especially yesterday.
No,
Sonny Gray was great. They put.
We're going to get to that. Don't get so because don't think I'm not going to take a victory lap early in the season, Jonathan.
Sure.
I have to make things about me. You know that as well as anyone.
The one thing it's not going to be about is Hardy, because the first group has reached the fourth hole. Well, TV coverage has begun.
I will tell Tom Caron is we're fortunate enough to finally have him as a weekly guest. You know him from Nesson for the Red Sox coverage, but I will tell Tom this. Tom, Hardy's out on this. He is obsessed with golf, and the Masters has begun. So just know that.
I'm stunned he's in studio.
No.
How do you not get the weekend off?
Well, I got three screens going here. I got the leaderboard in front of me. I got the live on the range to my left, and then actual coverage on what Hotong Lee just made about an 8-footer for par on 4.
See, why take PTO when you can just mail it in? See,
that's why that's the mistake you made, Tom. You said why not take the day off, and why take the day off?
Answered your own question.
I've been present on the show for 2.5 hours. I'm going to tap out for a little while.
I said to Hardy, I go, you got tab. You can. I go, Tom's Tom's enough of a personality.
Sorry, he's a pro.
Right. Tom's third mic on this, or John's still third mic. Tom's second mic on this.
Yeah, Tom, congratulations, you've been promoted.
Yeah, let's not go crazy and give John a promotion. Tom Caron tied for first, Mike. I'll even go that. Let's not go crazy and say he's better than me. Maybe my equal.
No. Not after that last segment. That's a tough segment to follow, by the way. I'm listening. I'm glad segments don't spill over, because I really didn't want to get into the bone zone.
No, but I'll tell you this. I was telling Hardy, if I was Rousini, who was not very nice to us, and she heard that segment and she was going to get all locked in on thinking we were going to take an angle. I do like the idea that calling her annoying during the interview would bother her a little bit more. So that does make me happy. So thank you. Tom Caron's not related to that. That's all me. All right. Anyway, to the Red Sox. Okay. Yes. So you have to give them credit. They beat a very good pitcher 2 days ago. They, Sonny Gray was great yesterday, and for whatever reason, this fan base, some of them were poo-pooing the Sonny Gray trade as if he was some bum, which I never understood. He was an opening day starter last year. He had a good year last year. He doesn't have electric stuff, but he's a professional pitcher that's probably not going to get hurt, and that's going to be reliable throughout the whole season. This has to be, you thought the same way, I'm sure. So this is good for the people to see.
Yes, that's right. No, it's a great point, because I think people kind of took the deal for granted. He's a veteran guy. And here's why, I think, because they've had this run of 1-year veteran pitcher swings and misses. Right, it was Walker Buehler last year. It was Corey Kluber before that. They kept getting these kind of guys, and it was never working out. So, I get the reaction, people saying, oh, Sonny Gray, yeah, he's the latest, one and done. But the guy, he's one of 5 pitchers in Major League Baseball who struck out 200 or more batters each of the last 2 years. We're not talking about 12 years ago. We're talking about the last 2 years. He's been a really good pitcher. And, yeah, he struggled opening day, but they really liked the way he pitched the last couple innings, whatever. Opening day at Fenway Park, the Fenway opener a week ago, they needed that win, and he was really good. And then yesterday, you talked about the Tuesday night win off Mizrowski, who was throwing gas. 11 pitches over 100 miles an hour in the first inning of that game. They wait him out. They get the win, finally get the third win of the year at that point. You're coming back a few hours later, and it's all about, can Sonny Gray set the tone? You win back-to-backs. Now you start to feel like the world's, coming back in order. And he was really good. You got him a lead, and he didn't try to strike everybody out. He threw to contact. And sure you guys heard the quote. I love that he goes in and they say, great, 6 innings, you're done. He goes, I got another zero in me if you need one more.
90 pitches in 6 1/3. I mean, yeah, you're pitching to contact.
Should have gone out there, yeah.
A lot of balls on the ground. No, I understand why they took him out. But, yeah, if you're Sonny Gray, you want to stay out there because just to double down on the point of him being efficient, 90 pitches in 6 1/3 is incredibly efficient.
Yeah, and it's exactly what they needed because the bullpen was toast. And it still got a little tight there, right? There were a couple guys on. Weiser got the ABS challenge, and they got out of it. But I'm with you. Everyone's like, he's not really a number two. He's a pretty good number two.
Why not? He was the number one for a team last year. Why is he not a number two?
That's right. And Ranger Suarez hasn't been that. We know that. So they've got it. That's what it's about. Yeah, we had the graphic after the game, like what they've done with the other three guys. Early's been okay, but you've gotten everything you want out of Crochet and Sonny Gray. You just need to get it from somebody else now.
It's interesting, too, Tom, that you bring up the opening day win and then the win yesterday. Obviously, you would rather them have more wins at this early point in the season. But if there were two must-win games, they had to do something for that opening day crowd, and they had to win a series. So in those two spots, he's come through, and those were two, kind of sneaky big moments at this early point in the season, and he was the guy out there who was able to deliver on them. I think that bears mentioning.
Yeah, I thought, the old school tip of the cap coming off the mound yesterday. I talked to him at spring training. He's a fascinating guy to talk to because, when he came into this league 14 years ago, I mean, he jokes about it. Their side sessions, he goes, it was me and a bullpen and a guy with a clicker. And now your side sessions are in a lab and they're showing you the shape of the picture and
they have TrackMan on you. They're tracking the rotation. They have a 5,000. They do for my son.
Spin rates.
If my son goes to a facility and does a 30-pitch bullpen, there's a TrackMan on it where he gets a computer readout of where everything was, how fast it was, in the rotation on the ball, and he is to send that to people. Oh, yeah, it's a whole situation. Yeah, even at an amateur level, it's a whole situation. It's crazy.
But these guys, like if your son becomes the major league player you're pressuring him to be,
right?
He will have come up in this world, right? I think it's fascinating to talk to a guy like Sonny Gray who didn't come up in that, right? Like he was pitching when it was just kind of me against you and my curveball's working, so I'm going to attack you with that today. And he's adapted his game to embrace all the analytics and all the lab work that he can do. So it's just fascinating because I think he takes all of that. He literally has the best spin rate of anybody in baseball over the last few years. And he knows that. Like, I can spin it better than anyone in the league. Like, that's what he said at spring training. And I think he takes that, but when he gets out on the mound, it's still kind of an old school me against the hitter approach that I don't think you see that much anymore. And I really like that.
Yeah, and back to my son, in the pressure on him, let's just be clear, Tom, there is no 401k. All the money has been spent. So if he does not...
You don't need one. He's got, clearly the guy's got major league stuff.
If he would get hurt or not make, and by some miracle, some long shot, not make the major leagues, devastating for the family, and he knows it, so don't worry. There's quite a bit of pressure.
No pressure there. He'll be all right.
Yes, John.
I wanted to get Tom's opinion on what happened at the first game of the series, the deal with Wilson Contreras, who just went absolutely nuts, and there were two clear sides of the fence here. What is your take on all of this?
I think this is a guy that players on other teams hate. I just think he gets under your skin as a competitor. I think he's one of those guys you love to have him on your team because of that. And I think the Red Sox need that. I think, the coach once said to me, great teams, you need piano players and piano movers. You need the artistes and the highly skilled guys, but you need some guys who can shove that piano up on stage. And the Red Sox have a lot of highly talented players. But you go back over time, right, the Johnny Gomes and the Mitch Morelands who have succeeded here. These are guys who bring that element. So I think Contreras is a guy. Do you remember that game a couple years ago with Kenley Jansen on the mound when he kept stepping out of the box and forced him into a pitch timer violation? I don't even remember that. Everybody kind of went nuts. So it was Kenley Jansen had got his 500th save in Atlanta. We came back to Fenway, and it was a 3-game set with the Cardinals, and he blew the save on Friday night. Saturday afternoon, I think it was the ninth inning, and Contreras is up, and he had a foot in the box like you need to, but he kind of was deking him like he wasn't ready. So Jansen twice stepped off the rubber, and he wound up making 2 pitch violations. And after the game, everyone thought, like, well, that's crap. You can't do that. And I remember watching the interview, and Contreras right away was like, what I did was perfectly legal. I knew exactly what I was doing, and I forced him to blow the pitch timer. Like, that's the kind of stuff that's going to annoy other teams. But if he's on your team, bring it on. That Monday night, remember, he went in hard and ripped David Hamilton's pants with spikes high on the side.
Right after he
got hit.
Kind of got hit on the hand, but not really.
Kind of got hit on the hand, right. Kind of got hit on the hand. And after the game, somebody asked him that, and he looked right at it. I don't remember who asked the question, but he looked right at him and said, that was a perfectly legal slide. Thank you. Like he wasn't playing. Like, so I just think he's one of those guys that you're going to see more of this from him over the year because a lot of teams, he bothers them. But I think it's the kind of stuff that can fire up your teammates, and I think this team needs a little of that.
One of the things surrounding the Red Sox is Roman Anthony and his health. He's DH'd a ton at the beginning of the season. We saw a really poor throw from left field. Do you think something's wrong with his arm or his shoulder?
I don't, because like Jim Rice was talking about it after the game, and it's exactly what Cora said later. It really looks like footwork and mechanics. It's just he's offline. He's kind of got his body the wrong way, and he's kind of like, I think he's trying to get more out of his throw, so his front half is over to the right, and he's trying to sling it, and everything's going to the right. I think that's correctable. I mean, he's 21 years old. They had them out there the next day. And not just him. You don't want to sort of single him in front of the media and stuff, but they had all the outfielders out there doing a lot of throwing drills. I think he'll work on it. I assume he's going to get better at it. Jim Rice is a good comp. He was not a good defensive outfielder when he started in 74 and 75. And he would go out with Johnny Pesky and have Pesky hit 50, 75, 100 balls off the wall because that was what he had problems with, playing off the wall. And so I think he's young enough to get this under, but I don't think it's health. I really don't. At least I have not been able to get a sniff of a health issue talking to people off the record.
Now, would Jim be allowed to talk to Roman Anthony about throwing? Or is that going to run afoul of people in the organization?
Guys in the hoodies, wrap them up and take them away.
He could send them an email, and then they could run that through the processor. I do think it was pretty refreshing on the Friday home opener that they asked Roman about the history, and he said, you know what, I love talking to Dwight Evans at spring training. And the two of them worked together a lot in the outfield. So I do think Roman's a little bit more old school, where he's not only looking for analytics and numbers. I think he would be willing to talk to Jim Rice.
And finally, just real quick, have you ever had a manager drive 2.5 hours to spend the day at a pool with you?
No.
Okay, thank you. Tom, have you ever interlocked fingers with Cora?
No, I'll just say no. I've shared some nice moments with him, but no interlocking of the fingers.
All right, thank you. That was just, you were, now it's 2-0.
I'll tell you, there was a long time ago on another radio station. I remember I'm driving in the car, and Lou Merlone was doing radio, right? He was a show host. And they were doing the crossover where you're teasing what's coming up. And they had been talking about this type of stuff, sideline reporters having liaisons with players. And Lou comes on, and they go, Lou, that happens all the time, doesn't he? He goes, man, we had Tom Caron as a sideline reporter. I don't know why you're asking me. And I was like, why you got to bring me into this?
Right. Yeah.
See,
he just had his choice of any lady in the stands. In Boston, is it sexy?
Lou and I did not interlock fingers. I'll make that clear.
Very good. All right. Tom Caron, thanks so much. Watch him on Nesson. We appreciate it, Tom.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. The great Tom Caron. We'll be... No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
Hi, everybody. We are Toucher and Hardy, and Ryan Johnston will be joining us, and we will ask him if he has ever, with Marco Sturm, locked fingers. Jim Montgomery and I came close to interlocking fingers, but it didn't happen.
No, I think you needed one more season before you got to that point.
I really would like this Rousini-Vrabel thing to not run out of steam. Belichick needs I mean, he's getting sued by a painter, but that's of no interest to me. I mean, who knows what happened there? So we haven't covered that. But I have a feeling something has got to happen in that world, too. Jordan has been laying very low, or at least being ignored. She might be doing a lot of stuff, but it's just being ignored. But she's still in that relationship. Her and Bill are still going strong. And I have thought about it numerous times, the physical toll it would take to please a 24-year-old woman at the age of 73, 74. Like, the physical toll.
I think there's a lot of accessories.
But, yeah, get past the genitalia of it and just think of what is required for a man to participate in a good way in a sexual encounter. There's holding yourself up. There's core strength. I mean, TT Boy can take it through it all. I mean, he'd run through 3 or 4. I mean, he was that strong. He would do wind sprints in the lawn of the house they were filming at, and I'm not making that up.
I'm an animal. I know.
That's
I know.
That's the meeting of the minds that was TT Boy interviewing Peter North.
So let's see what you got, homeboy.
Yeah. He seems capable of murder. I will tell you that.
What?
Yeah,
They just didn't talk about that, though.
Scarface.
I watch that anytime it comes on. Yeah, that and Predator.
Yeah. 2 film buffs. I encourage everyone to. It's not like there's no nudity or sex. It's just TT Boy and Peter North talking, and it is you just think to yourself, both of these guys should be in jail. Like, these guys should not be roaming the planet.
Like a bird, Mike. Yeah.
There's a new Peter North documentary.
They should be institutionalized in some way.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Away from polite society.
Like for these two guys to have survived and taken care of themselves is almost impossible to believe.
Stay humble.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's almost impossible for him to stay humble, and he really doesn't. He tries to drag it out of people that he's the best. He does it a lot. But there is a documentary that has been made of Peter North. It's like professional looking. I've seen the trailer of it, but I guess it does not have a distributor. It does not have someone who's bought it.
Well, that's too bad.
I mean, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
There's a Billy Idol one on Hulu.
Be interesting.
So maybe I'll watch that Billy Idol one. That DTF St. Louis, save yourself the.
Okay, I was about to sit down and watch episode 3 today.
No, I'm telling you as a friend, stop.
Okay,
it's awful.
Awful in what way?
It's boring.
Okay,
and awful. And
what show?
DTF St. Louis.
Oh yeah.
The Jason Bateman thing.
Okay.
And it's bad. It's like legit bad. And I had invested the time into it, and nothing of it. It gets more boring as it goes on, which is almost impossible.
It's like a murder mystery. Yeah. How is that?
Because you just don't care.
Okay.
There are no big swings. There are no big twists.
Is it characters are weird?
Okay,
too.
so the relationship between the men is completely ridiculous.
Does it get confusing? Because that will make me instantly not care. If you introduce too many characters or it gets too windy, then I'm like, well, now I don't know what's going on and I don't care.
No, there's very little twists in characters. It's more about the relationship between these two men that's completely unrealistic. It's supposed to be funny, I think, but it's
quirky.
I'd even take a call on the DTF St. Louis.
It's supposed to be quirky, Hardy. That's what it is.
Okay, so this always happens at the Masters. You get a couple of veterans jumping out early. Your leader, at 2 under par after 3 holes, Jose Maria Olazabal.
60 years old. Second place, Angel Cabrera, 1 shot back, 56 years old.
They can't like that at Augusta.
No.
The Duck, Angel Cabrera, 2-time, I believe, Masters winner.
Two guys, names that do not fly at the Masters. Get him out of there. Get him off
no,
the
he won the Open, and he also won the Masters.
I wonder if they're going to give the caddy, dead balls.
Max Homa's 3rd. So,
but Angel Cabrera is, so old, and by the way, imprisoned for a time.
Oh.
I believe he went to prison in his native Argentina after he won those 2 major championships. Quite a colorful background. He is
That's interesting.
Only 56 years old, but still has somehow managed to make birdie on 2 of his first 3 holes.
Nate, I will take you after the break, and then we'll get into Ryan Johnston.
Birdie on the second. Sorry, go ahead.
I apologize.
Your show.
DTF St. Louis. I do want to hear a third party's opinion on this. I do want to hear that. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
number of 1 to clinch the 2 seed in the upcoming Eastern Conference playoffs. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Namiya Cicada, and Sam Hauser are all listed as questionable on night 1 of a back-to-back. Bruins are off until Saturday when they play Tampa at TD Garden. Yesterday, they finally made the move, though. After 6 AHL games, the Bruins have signed top draft pick James Higgins to his 3-year entry-level contract. Red Sox won their first series of the season yesterday. They beat Milwaukee for the second time in less than 24 hours, 5-0 at Fenway Park. Sonny Gray, 6 1/3 shutout innings for the win. And the Sox have tonight off. They'll play in St. Louis tomorrow evening. Rob Gronkowski, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the 3 finalists for this year's election into the Patriots Hall of Fame. And round 1 of the Masters underway at Augusta National. 60-year-old Jose Maria Olazabal has a 1-shot lead at 2 under par. 56-year-old Angel Cabrera is alone in second at 1 under. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the $14.99 Big Deal Meals at the 99, like the Juicy Chopped Sirloin. All Big Deal Meals are now available all day, every day for just $14.99. You gotta love the 9s. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
The Sports Hub. 3 legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub.
You've been aggravated since we turned the mics on.
I don't know what it is. I don't have time to think about that right now.
Roger and Hardy.
It's ridiculous.
The Sports Hub.
I woke up this morning and I got out of bed. Had a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Telephone ring and you wanna chat. Well, sit on down and tell me what's up with that. Ooh, yeah. What's up with that? What's up with that?
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy, and Adam is playing the music from Saturday Night Live.
That's for Ryan. He will explain when we get to him.
That's cool. Anyway, real quick, just this DTF St. Louis, it was a big deal. It's like part of the
zeitgeist.
And all right, Nate, your thoughts?
All right, I'm going to agree with you first. It is a pretty boring show, but that's not the worst part about the show. I think you'll agree with me. The worst part of that show is how unbelievably cringy the girl from Grandma's Boy is. I have made it a rule in our house. It is a punishable offense to use the term "No way, Jose" in my house. That is the most despicable character I think ever written for a show.
There's got to be. So this lady says "No way, Jose" to people interviewing her about murder, to people at the juice bar.
She says it about everything.
So there's got to be a reason. By the way, this thing should be over by now too. It's just another pain in the ass. Is that now I'm locked? Now I feel obligated to see this thing through.
How many episodes are there supposed to be?
That's what we are. We're already committed, so we're just going to finish it at this point. But real quick, if I can suggest a great show, 6 episodes, an hour each on Netflix, called His and Hers with John Barenthal and the girl that played Valkyrie in the Thor movies. It's awesome. It's got one of the best twists you'll ever see in any show, and it's a quick watch, 6 hours total, and it's awesome.
Yeah, Barenthal is a very good actor. He's insufferable when interviewed. So yes, I will check that out. Thank you. The listeners have given me a lot of great ideas for podcasts, podcasts that tell stories that aren't just interviews, which I refuse to listen to.
Just a couple people sitting around talking for a while.
Yeah. If it tells a linear story, you can't do that on the radio, and I do have respect for that. Ryan Johnston is the voice of the Boston Bruins now on 98.5 The Sports Hub. He's the best in the business. Ryan, what's up with that?
I had texted 12 the other day that my wife was making fun of me because I've been bumped a lot recently to different days. Yesterday, I got bumped for a Masters guest from my normal Wednesday 9 a.m. slot. So she's been calling me Lindsey Buckingham from What's Up With That. He's always the guy who gets bumped at the end.
You're not getting bumped. We know that you are a reliable guest, And so we want to make sure that we have you on. That's the way to look at it, Ryan. And
Right.
you know that to be true.
I will explain that to her next time she brings it up.
Yeah, don't let her talk to you like that.
Sounds like she might be a bit of a problem.
All right. Listen, exciting times now with the Bruins. James Hagens is up. What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was, listen, I know, a lot of people have been clamoring for it. I think there was, literally multiple, the correct schools of thought as to whether this is the right move or not. I'm not shocked, honestly, that they're giving him the opportunity, and hopefully it pays off here in the last 3 games and into the playoffs. I thought that, the other school of thought of keeping him in Providence, because the moment he plays in the NHL, the moment he signed that contract, he becomes ineligible to play in the playoffs down in the AHL this year. And so, if you looked at it and said, okay, well, is it worth him getting a few games here and then maybe getting a little bit of experience in the first round of the playoffs? What happens if they get eliminated early? Right, where Providence is kind of poised to go on, it seems like a really deep run in the AHL. So would it be better for him to get, 15, 20, maybe more playoff games down there versus a handful here? I think there were positives in both aspects, but I'm excited to have him and looking forward to seeing him at practice today and hopefully out there on the ice on Saturday.
How do you think Stern will use him? We were talking earlier, second power play unit, third line left wing. Does that kind of fill what you think?
That would be my guess. That third line has been kind of a rotating cast on it, and whether it's Lucas Reichel or Mikey Asimon or Alex Steves, I think we've seen all 3 in the last 3 or 4 games. Nothing is really stuck. And so, it's that would be the number one opportunity, as you said, probably second power play time, because one of those guys, in particular, Reichel usually rotates in on that group. So, that's probably where we're going, but we'll get a better idea of that, when we see him at practice today and tomorrow.
All right. So, some people very excited about, Hagens coming up. I guess most notably Tony Maserati yesterday when it was announced.
The NHL.
He was very excited.
Yeah, I mean it's so bizarre.
Was that your reaction, Ryan?
Well, I was going to say others like Michael Felger, despite not having seen him play, says he's going to suck. So, any predictions, one way or the other, Ryan?
I would hope he doesn't suck.
Okay, can I stop and interrupt?
Yeah.
How bad could he suck? The guy he's replacing played 10 minutes in the last game. He's not going to be on the penalty kill. I'd imagine he'd be on the second. Well, we can discuss it. I'd imagine he'd be on the second power play. So, really, how bad can he suck? To us watching games. Now, there's stuff going on that you can see and the coaches can see. But, I mean, how much of a disaster could it really be given his skill set and size? I just don't. How bad? He can't
be worse than Asimon or Steves.
And it's not like they're asking him to do a whole lot.
That's why this makes sense.
Right. It's usually when you see the guys like this, and I'll go back to last year. We saw Ryan Leonard, who was another, he was, I think, 8th overall pick out of BC as well. Made his pro debut at TD Garden against the Bruins for the Washington Capitals when he turned pro coming out of school. And I think he scored in that first game. And then there wasn't anything after that. I think that was the only point he had in 9 games to start his career. And so, that's kind of what I tend to expect from a player like this is you'll see the flashes, you'll see, why they drafted him where they did. And usually that first game, especially, they've got all the adrenaline rush of making their pro debut, and they've got all their friends and family in town and all of that. And they come out with their hair on fire, but it's sustaining that beyond the first game that's oftentimes is the difficult thing for a new call up. And so, wouldn't be shocking if he pops maybe in that first game. We see something special out of him. but then, that second or third game, it's not quite there. But, you're right. I mean, listen, that especially on that third line, that wing has just not been producing a whole lot in the way of points. So, if he goes out there and puts up some zeros in the first few games, it's not going to be the end of the world either.
We're trying to get a handle on this team as we head towards the playoffs, and we're almost there. Bruins had a 4-game winning streak. They look great. You put together with great wins in Buffalo and a nice home win over Minnesota, and you kind of contrast that with the last 4 games, and especially the last one we saw against Carolina, where they couldn't have looked worse for a long stretch there in the second period. I'm not sure what to expect from this team in the playoffs.
I think we'll get I hope we'll get a better sense of that over the next 3 games than we did over the last 3 or 4 games. Just based on the fact that they have, they canceled morning skate the other day. They, have 3 days off here. They gave the guys a day off again yesterday after they had just had a day off on Monday. I kind of feel like Marco Sturm thinks that maybe they're a little bit gassed right now. They played an absolutely hellacious schedule in the month of March, 16 games. They just had, another, this 4-game road trip where they played, 4 games in 6 days, I think it was. It's been a lot. And, I think that, maybe after getting 3 days off here this late in the season, that we'll see a little bit closer to the team that we expect, hopefully on Saturday afternoon against Tampa, and, get that playoff spot wrapped up so they can, massage the lineup and do whatever they need to do here over the last couple of games on Sunday and Tuesday.
I'm hoping it's like in 2007, 2008. They had some young players. You could tell that they were building something, and they took Montreal to 7 games in the first round. Like, I think bringing up Hagen's kind of does that. Like, even if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, if they go to 7 games and it looks like there's a future there is that sense of next year will be different, like more success is on the way, which I think is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, this is a building process, and we knew that going in, and I think for most people, they're probably a little bit ahead of schedule where they thought they'd be at this point. They should be getting into the playoffs here when they clinch that. But you're right. I mean, you look at some of the young guys that they've got on this team. Fraser Minton, we've had a lot of good things we've seen out of him this year. You start to see Hagen's. You start to see some of these younger guys filling in the lineup and earning their spots. And yeah, I mean, you think back to you think forward to what this team could be here going forward. You get. If Morgan Geekie continues to be a 30-goal scorer, if David Pastrnak continues to be himself, Charlie McAvoy has had, arguably the best season of his career this year, even taking a puck in the mouth and missing a few weeks. You really do kind of look forward and say, and listen, I don't dismiss this team in the first round of the playoffs at all. I think they can play with anybody in the East. I think they've shown that consistently throughout the course of this regular season, and the style that they play is going to give some of these teams problems over the course of a 7-game series. So, I think that, this certainly has been a season where you'll come away with it one way or the other and say they made positive strides here and look forward to next season with higher expectations.
Yeah. And with Geekie, it may have sounded or seemed kind of foolish to think that, at the beginning of the year, or when he had first started this streak that he's been on, that it was anything other than an anomaly. But after a little bit of a slump, comes back
a little bit.
He has the hat trick the other night
after a month off.
Yeah. You start to think, okay, maybe this is sustainable. Maybe this is the guy that, or one of the guys that you can look at for next year and beyond that as to someone who will actually blossom into someone other than just somebody who had this outrageous season that nobody really saw coming. And it's like, okay, maybe this kid can actually, it'll have legs, and he'll be able to stay at a certain level that they're going to need him to if they want to grow upon what they're building this year.
I mean, there's no joke about back-to-back 30-plus goal seasons. And, there's an outside chance, given the streakiness that he has with 3 games to go, he's got a chance of hitting 40. He's got 37 goals. And that's with, 17 in a row without a goal this streak. Yep. He had another one earlier in the year, if you guys remember. He went 12 games without a goal.
Unbelievable.
Right?
Oh.
And at the tail end of that one, I remember vividly, it was the game in Dallas where the Bruins got blown out. He got a goal in garbage time in that game. It was his first goal in 13 games. Meant absolutely nothing to anybody with the exception of Morgan Geekie, because he scored, I think, in 8 of the next 9 games. Once that first one goes, they all start to go, it feels like. And we saw it the other night. He gets that first goal, and Pasta made, 2 really good plays on the first 2 goals that he scored in that game. But he's in the right position. Marco Sturm had put them back together here in the last couple of games after having them apart for weeks. And Geekie's in the right spot to take advantage of Pasternak's skill and gets those 2 goals and then gets a third later on in the game on a tip. It's like he's going to go on a run right in time to start the playoffs. It's great timing.
All right. Well, Ryan Johnston, enjoy the couple days of watching practice, and then you're back at it on Saturday. Always appreciate the time, sir, and thank you for taking all the bumps. We will start calling you Lindsey Buckingham from now on.
Happy to be on any time you guys want me to be.
Thanks.
That's the answer. Thank you.
That's the attitude.
That's the dude.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Take care, guys.
All right. There you go. The great Ryan. You got to be excited about that. Big game against Tampa. Now all of a sudden, all eyes on Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa's got a lot to play for too. Big logjam there at the top of the standings. So if you want that 2 seed, in the Eastern Conference, you got to win some of these games. And Tampa, that's a big game for the Lightning when they come here on Saturday.
All right, and some of us. What time is that game?
12:30.
Oh, well, I won't be able to watch it. But nonetheless, I'll keep an eye on it. Don't you worry. All right. We'll be back in just a moment with our award-winning email segment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5.
We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
We are doing the email segment. Dan Levy is on the Kelly Ripa show she does with her husband. And I was saying I don't know if things are going as planned for him after the success of Schitt's Creek. And the Hardy was like, I got a little bit into it. The characters were fine, and I bagged out. And I'm like, yeah, like I thought it was good, but I too, like, I watched the last episode, but I didn't watch every episode. And then I told Hardy, will you watch New Girl? And he gave me this look of disgust. Like, what are you telling me? And I explained to him, I would have thought the same thing, but it happened to be on TBS when I got home from work like years ago. And so I just would always turn it off. And finally, I kept it on long enough where I went, ooh, hello, what's going on here? Just watch the Prince episode then. Prince was a big fan of the show. He asked to be on an episode, and they put an episode around Prince.
Oh, okay.
So there is watch the Prince. Now, it's not the best episode, but it might get you out of your funk.
Oh, okay.
We're worried that Hardy's going to off himself, quite frankly. Hoping is another way to put it.
That's me, Mr. Mopey.
He's moping around.
What? Today you should be over the moon happy. What is the problem?
I'm making it up.
Come on.
He's not in a bad mood. I'm just making it up. I wanted to tease him
Rarely,
about committing suicide.
rarely in a bad mood. Charles Schwartzel, he's in a bad mood. Out there making bogey after that. Same thing with Pocketer.
Nothing cooler than the long putter. My dad tried that out for a time.
Well, he's got the pendulum one where it's like back and forth.
The
or
broomstick?
If you're asking if it's somewhere that lying in their house, the answer is yes.
Okay.
Because those items are not to be thrown away. They are to be put in somewhere in that house that I'm going to have to clean out when they die.
Well, the golf club, how do you throw away a golf club? Now, I've only thrown away golf clubs that I somehow ended up with that were not part of any set. And I can't even tell you how I came to be in possession of them. But yeah, I've thrown away a few like that. It's like, a random 6-iron that's not mine. And where did this come from? But if you start collecting putters, I understand. You don't throw it away. You might go back to it at some point. Maybe you keep it down in the basement. Maybe that's what you roll putts with down there.
Oh, because you're assuming that my father makes it down the stairs, and instead of celebrating his good fortune, he goes and starts putting.
I don't fault your father or anyone else for not getting rid of a putter that they no longer use. That's my only point.
I just picture the dumpster in the parking lot while I empty the home. My mom's listening. Hi. Hopefully it doesn't happen for a long time. This is an interesting email. I do not listen to the Red Sox on the radio. If I am in the car, I have to confess I will listen to the Cardinals. And I will give the Major League Baseball this. The Major League Baseball app is incredible. It's easy to navigate. All the games are on it. I don't find it to be expensive. I think it's relatively cheap. And I love it. I think that baseball was the first network to really embrace that internet technology.
I think you're right. I think it was Major League Baseball.
And so their app is like a well-oiled machine. So I do, if I want to listen to a baseball game, and let's be honest, impossible to listen to an entire baseball game while being focused. A couple innings, and then I'll have to switch to something else. But Chris says, hey, man, I was just wondering if any of you guys have been listening to the Red Sox games on the radio. I know it's a competitor, but Will Fleming, who does play-by-play, says, dude, when referring to the players. It's very cringe. It reminds me when my dad tries to say hip things, and it just doesn't sound right. He did it a few times yesterday in the pregame and during the game. You have two lefties in the pen, and those dudes can play. Stuff like that, so cringy. Have you heard that?
I have. It is a little strange. I'm not to the point of cringy, but it's something you stop and go, what? Really? Okay. That kind of thing. Oh, okay. Yes.
I haven't heard it myself.
Okay, so DT of St. Louis. Hey, Freddie, regarding Linda Cardellini, who I do like, Freaks and Geeks, great show. character in DTF St. Louis. The show is kind of cerebral and may require a couple rewatches. Fair enough.
I'm not seeing myself going back
all
to
her
this.
annoying mannerisms and tics like "No way, Jose" and her telling people to speak up are referenced in all of her jogging scenes. She's always listening to a self-help book on tape that tells her that to do those actions that supposedly allow her to control her interactions with other people. Whether or not it works is a different story to me. It just leads her to seeming very insincere and annoying. Hope that helps. Greg from Rehoboth?
Rehoboth.
All right. I've never seen or heard of that city. Rehoboth. Where is
Down near Seekonk, isn't it? Where am I thinking?
If I see Conk, I want to be in the Keys. Thanks, John.
Yeah. That was good.
That does help. I guess that I know she's listening to self-help books when she runs. Again, Belichick and DTF St. Louis. Hey, yes, Fred, the show blows, but I am a loser enough to still watch. So am I. The most recent episode featuring a fat friend trying to have sex with his wife while Bateman was watching in the closet. That is true. He was so fat and awkward, plus he had this bent, his member was bent, that the wife was squirming and she told him to stop. It's your fault that I could only think of Bill and that young hussy. Thanks a lot, Dave. Yeah, I've never had a woman like while we were like it was going to happen go like, I just don't want to do this. That would be heartbreaking, especially if your friend was watching from the closet.
Oh yeah.
I mean, then you got to witness.
Jim says, Hardy, hello, happy Masters Week. Last week I was in Vegas for it, and don't get too distracted now, the National Hardware Show at the Convention Center. He said, I joined a couple of vendors at Rooftop Bar at Circa. Nice joint. I thought of you and had to laugh when I saw a very plain Jane making her way down the bar talking to every guy in the place. She was dressed very normal, even preppy, but did have a lot of ample cleavage showing with her sweater vest type of garment.
Sweater puppies.
All I could think of was your conversation about sex workers in Vegas the other week and how they might not be the porn star type that you're expecting to see. This came to a surprise to my older vendors I was with, but they came to agree with me when she made her way down to us and asked if we wanted to buy her a shot because it was her birthday.
Yes. Again, I don't understand how anyone is so unsophisticated that they don't, I guess sophisticated, but not the right word, street smart, aware of human behavior, that if a young, pretty girl comes up to a group of men that are walking alone, she is most likely a prostitute because women don't do that. Now, I suppose if you're notoriously famous, I suppose there are handsome men that do have women come up to them and talk to them. But a pretty girl that's like 23 years old approaching a group of guys in Vegas for a convention, it's unfathomable to me that you wouldn't realize it was a prostitute. And again, at my bachelor party, I had people from Atlanta, people from my college, and people from Detroit where I grew up. Those groups of people had never met. So the first night we're there, it's great. It's one of the most fun times I've ever had in my life. I'm completely annihilated with alcohol, which, at the time was still fun. And I'm walking with two of my friends. One is from Atlanta and one is from Detroit. A young lady approaches us. She goes, hey, guys, what are you guys up to? And my first reaction was, oh, hey, what's up? But the other two started talking to her, and I said, okay, I'll see you guys later. And they went, let's go to the room to her. And we didn't talk. The two of them didn't talk. I knew I'm not interested in sleeping with a prostitute. I'm leaving. And they knew we are interested in sleeping with this prostitute, even though they had never met. They knew, and they had made the decision that they would have sex with her at the same time. And they would give her money in exchange for that. It's unfathomable to me that you've been with people or anyone is emailing with people that people are just like, wow, this hot chick's into us.
Yeah.
As a collective. Us.
What's the tip off? A young, attractive woman is coming up to men older than her and talking to them and initiating conversation. That's the only tip off you need.
You're walking, and they're just coming up to you. Like, guys, that doesn't happen. And if it does happen to you, something bad is going to happen in your life because you've been blessed beyond all recognition.
Hey, guys, now that the Masters is underway, do you think we should do a live chicken with Don Darrow? Hardy's excitement is nice, but I think the show could use a little more elite passion. Also, is Shine My Clubs possibly synonymous with flapping my wings to completion? Thanks and great show, Randy and Mansfield. What the hell
That's
was
right.
that?
I don't know.
That's the headlines.
That's 12 telling us to get out early, apparently.
Yeah, but I will tell you this.
Supposed to be this.
Is that whether you've been hurt in an injury, which is exactly the way it's written. This email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email like you email us. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. He is the man.
I got an email from Riz. This is more for 12, though. It says, you guys play a song almost every day. It's played at 8:50 just before you guys came back. It sounds like Mario Kart Rainbow Road Stage. Please, this has been a topic for years on the chat. What is the name of the song?
It's got to be, well, I mean, it's the one that I played today at 8:50. Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Okay, it's this. It's a song called Impressions by an artist called Sweet Trip.
Okay.
If you like that, there you go.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, not my favorite.
Yeah.
Eric wants to know what's in the interview.
Yeah.
Fred.
Oh, yeah, I mispronounced interview.
Interview. In.
Okay, I mispronounced it. I have my entire career. It's not an affectation. It's not something I do deliberately.
There's a big sign in front of Fred. It says that.
This is well worn.
Interview.
Yeah.
I know it's infuriating.
It's almost like purposely lazy, though. You just refuse to do the short I vowel.
Why would I
sound.
pick that particular word for my whole life? It's just something that I do.
Well, it's the short I vowel sound that you've picked. Innings, interviews.
Yeah, and that's almost a Midwestern thing, and I'm surprised you didn't pick that up. It's a little bit of a Midwestern thing. It really is.
I'll have to call one of my Michigan peeps today.
I don't have that dumb Michigan accent, but I which is awful. But I do way worse than Boston. At least Boston has some grit to it. Michigan accent, you sound like a stupid rube. Like, there's no black guys walking around in Detroit with a dumb Michigan accent. It's just this very isolated, almost like you have had no interactions with other people outside of your neighborhood accent.
New tires on my car.
Yeah, it's bad. But I do think that it is somewhat regional that effect, because it's never called out in Detroit. It's only called out in Boston. It got called out in Atlanta too.
You walk around Detroit now talking about all of the great interviews you've recently completed?
No, but I'd imagine I've had several conversations where interview came out, considering I spent 19 years of my life there, that it would have come up at some point. Like, you're saying this thing wrong, but maybe it wouldn't. I mean, I didn't just go there and visit for a day. I mean, I spent, laid down roots,
So you've officially lived here longer now in Boston than anywhere else you've ever lived?
Yep.
Huh.
20 years here, 8 years in Atlanta, 4 years in Orlando, and if you add it all up, 19 years in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that adds up to 50.
There you go.
Boom.
And Wallach has been on this earth for close to 64 years?
70.
Close to 70 years and still has not traveled west of Worcester.
No. He took the bold step of going to upstate New York for college, and then he decided
why do I need to be here?
Whoa.
It's Western New York State, technically.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sick of this big city.
Near Syracuse.
Yeah, get me to Syracuse post haste. Get me to the weather.
I wasn't even good enough to get into Syracuse. I had to go further west.
No, don't knock.
Well,
listen,
that's what they would say to me.
I think we're all in the same. Again, I'm not judging anyone by how well they did academically at 15. That's not a big issue for me. I'm late blooming for all. I don't think your intelligence and your station in life should be made based on your academic success your freshman and sophomore years of high school.
One question that I think is important for Hardy, and I don't know why this is addressed to me, but it is. It said, Wallach, please unruffle your feathers and ask Hardy how his day sets up after he leaves the studio today.
It's all set up. I'm going home, going straight down into the basement where I will
watch a foot fetish video and get that out of the way.
By the way, Rory is wearing a whoop on the range.
Oh,
Fred.
Yeah, he is.
There you go.
He's defending Masters champion.
Yeah.
I will cast from the Masters app onto the TV in the basement, and I will stay there for hours.
So even when it is on television, like national TV, you'll stay with the Masters app.
For a while, yeah. But when does the actual televised coverage
2, 3?
begin?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Yeah, well, they'll be home by
When they please.
11 o'clock, yeah.
When they please, they'll tell you when it's on. It's on when it's on.
Jose Maria Olazabal still alone atop the leaderboard at 2 under par.
There is no other event that plays music under everything they talked about. When I got in the car this morning and was driving here on 95, not Route 128, they were playing something on ESPN radio it had to have music under it where the guy says, as you get older, you don't want things to change. You don't want your kids to get older. And he's playing this whole thing. And I'm like, this is about the Masters. You know why I know? Because I want to turn my car and hit the medium going 90. Then listen to this crap.
It is the only tournament I can think of with its own music.
Tournament? Just anytime you talk about the Masters, you have to play like
It's the only thing.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, right? It's the only thing.
Think of the Olympics. But maybe whenever you talk about the Olympics, you don't play the Olympic theme.
The NCAA tournament has it. It's
just
kind of
no. That's the end, and I never even have heard that. And I watch the NCAA tournament a lot. No. The Masters, when they talk about it, has to have a sparse piano in the background. It's not always even the same.
Got some acoustic guitar in there.
Oh, it's even worse. I could listen to a guy play the piano. You pick up an acoustic guitar, I'm out of there. All right, here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics visit the Knicks tonight in their final road game of the
my daughter is at this like leadership conference. She's a freshman in high school, and she texted me like a picture of her at the leadership conference, and I'm like, I'm very proud of you. This is really good. This is really good for you. And she just wrote back, is it?
Oh, the joys of a teenage daughter.
No, but I love it. I think it's great. I loved it. It made me laugh. It actually made me laugh.
I'm sure it's like a throwback for Hardy, who I'm sure has had more than one of those.
No, this isn't her being like bitchy. This is her like she's being funny.
Being funny, like
she's
it's
being
sarcastic.
funny. Like she's being like self-deprecating in a way. Like, I'm proud of you. This is really great that you're doing this. And then she's just like making light of it. Like,
Sure.
Is it?
Right.
Is it so great, Dad? Am I so wonderful? How, like, you know. And I said, I wrote her back. I can read it. I'm like, can you please enjoy your accomplishments and not be like your father? That's exactly what I wrote her back.
Angel Cabrera has fallen back to
Oh.
earth. Yeah, that's a shame. After making a birdie on the par fifth second hole and being 1 under for the tournament through 3 holes, bogeys at 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, wow.
But Jose Maria Olazabal still.
Is that him right there? Because he just missed.
No, that is the duck. That is Angel Cabrera, the man who spent 2 years in prison in South America.
Yeah, it's not a good guy, apparently.
Nah, it doesn't seem like it.
Convicted and served time for domestic violence. That doesn't sound like the world's greatest guy.
But Olazabal, 2 under par through 6 holes. Kitayama is the only other player under par right now at 1 under through 4.
If you played Augusta like today, take the tournament out of it, you just played like you were by yourself.
Yeah.
What do you shoot?
From their tees?
Yeah.
110.
Yeah, I've seen interviews with guys. They've asked them that very same question. It's set up the way it is today. One of those guys who goes out and plays municipal courses on Sunday morning, 150.
Yeah, I mean, well, like 150.
That's what they said. I'm just saying.
I think you just mark yourself down for a 3-putt on every hole.
Right.
I don't think you can putt those greens.
Plus your approach shot, if you got to stick it.
Yeah.
There's no sticking.
Yeah, there's
right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you got to make it. Like, look. Look.
He just hit a great shot in there, and that ball checked up and rolled 70 feet now
kind
away
of
from
good
the hole.
timing because that's exactly what I meant. Like, you got to stick it. Like, and that had a ton of back. Look at him. He's like, hit that perfect.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
There has been a study released on sharks around the Bahamas.
Oh, I'm going to the Bahamas in less than 2 weeks.
This is good news for you. Researchers found sharks in the waters around a Bahamian island had legal and illegal drugs in their system, including cocaine.
Oh, I wonder how.
And acetaminophen.
Oh.
Study also found changes in some metabolic markers of the sharks that tested positive for the drugs. They don't know how that impacts their behavior, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say, not great. Cocaine shark?
We treat the ocean so well. You know what I'm not afraid of is sharks.
Really?
No, I never think about it.
Well, the great shark versus bear debate that took over the radio station, I believe, during COVID, may have even been prior to COVID, during those long weeks in the summer without a lot going on. Where did you land on the shark versus bear debate? You either have to defend yourself against a shark in the water or a bear on the land.
Where do I think I'd be more likely to get out of it alive?
Yes.
Shark.
See, I said the same thing, and a lot of pushback and a lot of debate on both sides. But the shark is like punch it once, and it's like you're going to get bitten, you're not going to like it. The bear, like a big bear coming after you, you're done.
Well,
you're not going to do anything about that.
They say sharks don't want humans. Like that, they're not interested. Like that, you're not of interest to them. You're not food to them. Like they're not. That's not what they're looking for. So, like they're dumb. So I think they could lose interest quickly. Is what I'm saying. A bear is protecting something. The shark ain't protecting the ocean.
Right.
The bear is protecting whatever the hell's around. Cubs or
honey,
food or
picnic basket.
A picnic basket. Well, though, if you're hairy enough, they won't attack you.
Different kind of bear.
All right, that'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Solak and Bertrand was great yesterday. Hopefully Bertrand keeps that going. That was the beginning of the show. All night, all right. Yeah, this is what I tapped out. Yeah, he went and he did every subset of Bears. And it's like you got enough subsets in the gay community. You got to go subsets of Bears now? I mean, there's already Cubs and everything else. Please. That'll do it for us. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.